Brooksby now takes advantage of a slip from Pete. Brooksby towards the edge of the area, cuts in field, takes a shot from distance. Wayne Brooksby with the left boot hits the bottom right hand corner, and the former Ferriby man comes back to haunt the side that he once played for.
Well, good afternoon and welcome here to Welling. It's the day we have been waiting for, the opening game of the Vanarama National League. And history is about to be made as Guiseley make their first forays into non-league football's very top tier. And what better way to start than a huge game against a team in Welling United who only escaped at the very end of the last season here at in Welling, where this afternoon the Lions have made the long trip down south. They've stayed overnight the night before. This is going to be a huge day in Guiseley's history, and can they come away with the 3 points? Well, that's what we're hoping for. We'll be here with full match commentary, myself, Colin Robertson and Chris Bell, here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Stick with us.
Brooksby now on the edge of the 18-yard box, comes charging in, plays the ball across the face of goal. It's into the back of the net, and it's Adam Boys who has scored Guiseley's third. The Lions are in dreamland this evening.
Well, welcome here to Welling, where Guiseley are out on the pitch and all ready for the very first game in the Vanarama National League for the Lions as they face a Welling United, a team who last season escaped the drop right at the very end with manager Louis Fazakali, who came in and performed miracles for the Wings and kept them up. But it's all about Guiseley for us this afternoon and the history that they're about to make, we hope, with an opening game in this division and 3 points. I'm Colin Robertson. Alongside me is Chris Bell. Chris, this is a game we've been really excited about, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it, since those fixtures were announced right at the start of the month, start of July even. And yeah, we just can't wait, because the bottom line is this is the highest level that Guiseley Football Club have ever played at, and everyone connected to the club is so proud of the fact that it's taken them, a while to get to this level, but now they're here. They really want to make it count. This is, this doesn't want to be a one-season wonder for Guiseley. The intent is there to make it stick and to progress and to get a solid footing in this league. And today, here at Welling, cracking weather. It's not going to be like this come January, December. But it's all built for what will be a great opening to the season against a side that, a bit like Guiseley, aren't particularly favoured, let's be honest.
Well, let's just first of all quickly bring you the team news. Guiseley in goal, Stephen Drench. They line up, of course, with squad numbers. So let's read you those squad numbers out. 4, Danny Lowe. 5, and captain today, Adam Lockwood. 6, Jake Lawler. 7, Wayne Brooksby. 9, Adam Boys. 10, Tom Craddock. 14, Will Hatfield. 19, Nicky Boschel. 24, Zach Thompson. And 25, Rob Atkinson. No place, of course, for Ollie Johnson out with an injury. Or for Danny Boschel, the assistant manager has picked up a 3-match suspension for a yellow card picked up in that playoff final against Chorley. That took him over to 15 yellow cards for last season, and indeed that invoked a 3-match suspension. So he'll be missing all of this week. The substitutes today, the new signing of Daniel Atkinson, the goalkeeper, Ryan Tulson, number 2, Gavin Rothery, who wears the number 11 shirt, Danny Hall, 12, and 16, that man whose second half performance stirred the Lions on against Chorley, Liam Dickinson. Welling United, they line up with Tom King in goal. Louis Fazakali, the player manager, plays at right back as well for the club. Ben Jefford, Michael Chambers, Sar Kaba, Ricky Wellard, Tashan Adeyinka, Kevin Locko, Sam Korn, Reese Harris, Xavier Vidal, and then Mike McKennittart. This is a very hard one. I'll skip over him. Professionalism bound here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Zach Fagan, Greg George Porter, Ofalabi Obafemi, and Kojo Owatwi. So a full lineup for the Lions and a strong team, isn't it, to start with?
It is. How many new signings are in there? I think you look at Lockwood, Craddock, Hatfield, Zach Thompson, Rob Atkinson, 5 new signings in that starting 11. And it just shows the quality as well, because we looked at the end of the season and thought that there wasn't going to be too much needed. He hasn't added a great deal, but he's added quality as opposed to quantity. And as we say, there's a lot of experience as well in the players that he's added. Rob Atkinson played over 30 games in League Two last season. Tom Craddock was at the books of on the books of Portsmouth at the end of last season, and of course Will Hatfield, who again has been at Accrington. He was out on loan at Halifax in the last stage of last season. And, he opted to come here. He had other offers, the same for all of them actually, with the exception of Adam Lockwood, who came back because he loves this place. There is a lot of quality, a lot of experience, and it's that will be much needed to guide Guiseley to, at the very least, safety in this division.
Well, it's not the first time the two sides have met here. Today's game is the first one in the league, but of course we've met in the competitive action before. In the FA Trophy in 1996-97, in the second round stage, we drew 1-1 here, and we won the replay 1-0 before we were knocked out by Stevenage. But there's more than just that connection. And Dave Kendra went to speak to Peter Mason, who used to both be involved at Guiseley and is now heavily involved at Welling.
David Kendra here for Guiseley Radio. I'm here with the owner of the Welling United Club shop, Peter Mason, and we're just going to have a quick chat with him now. Peter, what's your connection to Guiseley today?
My wife is the niece of Phyllis and George Stocks, and up to about 30 years ago I actually ran the Guiseley shop, and we set up a programme side under George's guidance, and then I moved down south about 30 years ago, and over the years have set up the shop here at Welling United. It's been a great time, and I've always had a soft spot for Guiseley. I go back up whenever I can. I went up to some of the playoff matches over the last 5 seasons. Of course, sadly, both Phyllis and George have now passed away, but it's really, really nice to go back up there and see people I used to know in the old days. I got very friendly now with Robin Brockett, who runs your shop, and Adi, the secretary. So it's really, really nice, and it's great that you've now got into the conference, and we're both playing each other at the highest level of non-league football.
So is there any question of divided loyalties this afternoon?
Sadly not, no. I've been here so long. It's a very, very nice club, and I hope you're all welcome here. So much so that we have actually moved away from the area, probably about 25 years ago now. We now live in Guildford, but I travel 70 miles there and back to watch them and run the shop. It is really nice here, just like it was at Guiseley. It's just nice to have the two teams playing each other. I can remember going to a trophy replay, which was a Tuesday night up at Guiseley, and at that stage Phyllis was a widow and had to sit between Phyllis and her daughter Susan. Me with a Welling United scarf, no doubt, and they with the Guiseley scarves. But the best team's got to win, and I hope it's going to be Welling, but if it's Guiseley, fine, but let's hope we're both playing each other next year at this level again.
That was Peter Mason there speaking to Dave Kendra. Lovely interview that. Peter Mason, who was involved with Guiseley back in the 80s and who in turn now is very heavily involved running the club shop here at Welling United, and is delighted, of course, to see the two clubs playing each other, and posted on the forum midweek to post his best regards. And he was right in that interview there, Chris. It's been a very warm welcome, hasn't it, here at Welling, and you really sense this is another family club just like Guiseley. Yeah,
very much so. I'd say we've had an exceptionally warm welcome since we've been down here. We got here in plenty of time, a little bit too early to a degree. But no, everyone's been very warm, very friendly. And as you say, it does have that feel, doesn't it? It's a bit of being a club a bit like Guiseley. They've just got, a bit more stadium-wise, but hey, we're working towards that. But yeah, quite right. As you say, community club, at the heart of the community, a lot of other clubs around them in the same way to Guiseley. So a lot of similarities between these two sides.
Yeah, and it's been great news, hasn't it, this week, that Guiseley have got the go ahead for the new stadium parts of the development anyway, the terracing, the toilet facilities, the covering that's actually really essential for playing football at this division. And yet it doesn't have to be on such a grand scale, and certainly that's not the intention. And this club shows exactly how to go about it, doesn't it? Good, two nice stands here, either side of each other. On the sides there's terracing behind both ends of the ground, probably of similar depth to what we're hoping to get, although albeit our plans are for covered terracing. And we're adjacent to a cricket club, and plenty of parking as well on the street for us as well too, as we arrived as well. So it's a good little setup, isn't it?
It is indeed, as we say, right down to the cricket pitch next door. All the similarities are there between these two sides.
So we look forward to welcoming them up into Nethermore later on the season, but hopefully we'll be leaving with the 3 points today. It's been a very, very busy pre-season for Mark Bauer. Plenty of comings and goings at the club. Chris, you spoke to him after the Ossett game, and here's your interview that you had with Mark.
Chris Bauer with Guiseley boss Mark Bauer after the 1-0 defeat at Ossett Albion. Mark, start, if you will, by trying to sum up tonight's game and what it meant to you this close to the start of the season.
Well, it was more of a training session really. We just arranged it for lads that had been a little bit short of game time. Obviously Ben Parker, Liam Dickinson have had injuries over pre-season, Gavin Rothery as well, not played as much as we like, so it was more a case of getting some proper match minutes in them, and it'll have done them a world of good. A little bit disjointed in the performance really, struggled to get any string much together. Chances we had, we were few and far between, and didn't really take them when they came along either. And conceded a poor goal from a set piece. But no, as far as getting some match fitness in the players, I think it was a good exercise for us, and it was a good challenge against a well-organised side. It's that final bit of preparation now for getting started. In terms of the lineup for today, a couple of trialists in the lineup for the second half, the goalkeeper, and of course Danny Ratchey, who was in from the start. Yeah, well, both goalkeepers. Ed's been with us pre-season, and he's been unlucky in that when he's got on the pitch, he's hardly had anything to do. And first half was similar, a little bit more to do, and what he had to do did really well. Dan came on second half, and probably had a bit more to do. I made a couple of good saves, which were, I thought both goalkeepers were impressive. To be fair, Danny Ratchey in midfield, he's a player that's been at Wrexham all pre-season, played a lot of games there. So just having a look at him tonight. In this one, good to get 90 minutes in him and have a good look at him. Liam Bennett as well from Leeds, played right back and centre half, so good to have a look at him in those two positions. Also the young lads, Poz playing again and getting a couple on at the end was good. But yeah, just a bit of a disjointed pre-season. It had more of a training ground feel to it rather than a match. Disappointed with the result, but ultimately it was coming through it, getting that match fitness in the players and not picking up any more injuries, which thankfully it looks like we've done.
Well, here we are at the end of pre-season. It seems a while since that Huddersfield Town game right at the start of it. How would you assess the squad from then to how we are now, right at the start of the biggest stage in Guiseley's history?
Yeah, we've obviously had to wait to get a few players in. It's taken a little while to get the sort of players in that we wanted to. But no, we've managed to do that. Possibly, there's room for an addition or two more. But no, I think we're in a good place. Lads are fit. We've only got OJ really that's not going to be available for Saturday. Everyone else is available, so that's a positive. And on the back of a good performance on Saturday and scoring a few goals, the new players are settling in well. Look forward to starting. No substitute for real football matches. Just said to Rob Atkinson there, it was Saturday and today has been the first time he's ever really had the opportunity to go and head the ball, which he'll be doing plenty in the in the league. So real football starts a different kind of football, and I'd like to think that we're well prepared for it, and we're looking forward to it.
In terms of between now and then, as you say, you're looking at possibly in one or two more. Anything specific positionally in terms of where you think we need a bit of extra depth?
Possibly in midfield. We've got Bosch suspended for the first 3 games. With Jake in there, he's got that versatility to play centre half. But no, we're keeping our eye out for any sort of gem that might just be one that could make a difference for us. I think we've got decent cover in all positions of the pitch. But yeah, there's that possibility that someone will crop up that could make a big difference to us. So we'll keep working on it. It might not happen before the Welling game. It might not happen before Kidderminster the week after. But we've got to deal with the transfer window and make sure that we're well covered for eventualities that might happen through the course of the season, we won't have that ability just to go out at any time and get someone in on loan if we need to. We've got to make sure that we're well prepared and everyone in the squad's ready to go.
How much of a difference is that going to make to you this year? Because of course, as you say, this is the first time that you've had to deal with a transfer window.
Yeah, well, we'll obviously have a bit more of a few more numbers in the squad. Possibly deal with more longer term loans, possibly. But yeah, we just need to make sure that we're well covered. Know the dates, new to us, but no, just not making sure that we're well prepared, and that we obviously know when we need to get people in and when not, and we don't want to carry too many players and have a lot of players sat in the stand, because that just creates unrest and disappointment amongst a large group. We've got to keep it competitive, and everyone here has got to have that feeling that they've got the chance to play in the side if they perform. But equally, we've got to make sure we're well covered.
Looking ahead then to the start of the season, Welling on Saturday. Let's be honest, when the fixtures came out, it isn't one of the glamorous times we could have had for the opening day. A side that stayed up by the skin of the teeth last season. How do you look at this game? Is it a game that you think, if for Guiseley, first season, a big chance to get 3 points over a possible relegation candidate? No disrespect meant to Welling.
Well, no, I think if you look at people that are writing about the league and bookmakers and everything like that, they've got us and Welling down as the two favourites to finish in the bottom four. So it's a fantastic game for us. Go away from home, long travel. The distance is welcome to the league sort of thing, and coming up against a side that got good conference experience. So I think it's a great first fixture for us. Lads are looking forward to it, and it's a game that we'll be going down there to try and win. They'll be looking at us, finished fifth in the Conference North last year. They'll be thinking that we're one that they can get off to a good start at. But hopefully if we can get a good result, we follow it up with 2 home games after that, and that gives a real opportunity to get some points on the board early on. And just calm everyone down, so to speak, 'cause everyone's looking forward to it. Been waiting a long time for it to happen. I think once we get into it and we start to see what it's all about, people will settle down and we'll start to enjoy it.
Looking at the bigger picture going forward, the first 6 games, 4 of them are at home. We know what a fortress Nethermore can be. We've seen it in the past few years. How important is that home form going to be this season? And importantly, getting off to a good start with 4 of the first 6 at home.
Yeah, very much so. Everyone wants your home form is your sort of staple, really. That's what brings your fans in. If they can see you winning more often than not at home, then that can only breed success for the club. And we've got games at home, like I say, 4 out of the first 6. I think we play after the Welling 3 Saturdays in a row at home, and real opportunity for us to to get points on the board. I think there'll be maybe the bigger teams that turn up at Guiseley and think, not sure about this, but hopefully we can use that to our advantage and like you say, pick up some points. But I also think they're going away from home, some of the bigger stages. I think it'll suit us. Teams will come on to us and they'll give us those good surfaces to play the kind of football we like to play, and I think we'll surprise a few people on the road as well. But ultimately, it's all about getting points on the board. I don't care where they are, but it'd be nice to do it at home.
And finally, how much like a kid at Christmas are you right now, managing in the top flight of non-league football for the first time?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a proud moment on Saturday, but the preparation's got to be right. It's not a day trip or anything like that. We're going there to do a job, and before the game, in the lead up to the game, and during the game, we'll be concentrating on making sure that we do the right thing in order to get a result. But yeah, it'll be a proud moment for myself, Bosch, Martin, to take the team down there and play at the highest level that guys have ever played at. That's we will be proud of that. But like I say, we're not there for the ride. We're there to go out there and do a job. And the club wants to progress. Want to keep pushing on, and I've got to make sure that happens.
Well, that was Mark Bauer there speaking to you, Chris Bell, after the game against Ossett Albion midweek. It was a funny old game, wasn't it, really? And a chance, really, just to give a couple of players a workout. Ben Parker, who's not playing today, returning to fitness, and Liam Dickinson to get some minutes under his belt, for example. But he talked a lot about today and the fact that here at Welling, this is a new experience. Nobody will be taking each other lightly, of course. And, the tough stuff, it starts now.
It does, very much so. He said that this game means something at the end of the day. All the games up till this point have just been pre-season. It's all about fitness rather than results. this is the start of the results game, and it will be. It's a longer season, albeit by an extra 4 games, which doesn't sound a lot, but it will be. It'll take its toll on the squad that we've got. The hard work does start here, and this is one of those games that both sides, whilst nobody will probably go too gun-ho, at risk of not losing, this is a game that for both sides they will be looking to get 3 points in the over the course of 90 minutes, because as we've said, the bookies, neither of these sides are a favourite to even stay up. So there's a lot at stake very early on in this game.
So it's an interesting side, isn't it? We were talking about this on the way down. The lineup. There's plenty of quality that's been brought into the team. Let's look at this. Steve Drench in goal. We think it's a back four. Speaking to Adi Towers of Hatfield at right back, Rob Atkinson, Adam Lockwood, the 2 centre halves, Lowe at left back, and then holding midfielders of Lawler and Zach Thompson. Zach Thompson signing on yesterday in order to be ready for today and go straight into the side. And then on the wings, Nicky Boschel, Wayne Brooksby, and Adam Boys and Tom Craddock up front. And a 4-4-2, effectively, is something we were toying with, weren't we, as we were discussing the game on the way down. But most of us were kind of anticipating a 4-2-3-1. Yeah,
I was going to say, we talked about 4-4-2s, but we discounted them fairly quickly, didn't we, really? We thought, no, surely he won't go with both Boys and Craddock up front, or surely it won't be a 2 up top. For the first game, you want to play it safe for the opening half at least. But no, as it is, as we say, both Tom Craddock and Adam Boys, 2 up front. It's a sign of intent, though, actually, I think, from Mark Bauer, that he is going to take this game seriously, and he's going to look to get, Guiseley on the front foot with the options there. The goal scoring potential is in the side. It's all about defensively keeping it tight, I think, for the opening start, because we just know that Welling will want to come out of the traps. They'll want to do the same thing. They want to come out quickly, but it's nice to know that if that happens, there's 2 up front that are capable of scoring goals that can either get us back into it, or, well, we know the counter-attacking possibilities as well with this Guiseley squad. So that there's options there. I say I'm just very, very surprised that he has gone for 2 up top.
Well, obviously he's going with the intent to get the points here today, and we talked about the start to the season a little bit as well. Welling, of course, a team who struggled last season, will be one that, like ourselves, people will be coming to and thinking we've got to get 3 points here. Altrincham on Tuesday night, another team who have embedded themselves well into the Vanarama National League after beating us in the conference playoff North playoff final that time. And Kidderminster Harriers, a team who are in a little bit of troubled times at the moment. 3 games in the first week, and 3 games you think we should be putting some points on the board if we're serious about competing in this division.
Yeah, absolutely. I said to Mark on Tuesday night, we need to make Nethermore a fortress. He completely agreed, because at the end of the day, you need to rely on your home form to have any chance of success in this division. The fact that in the longer picture, 4 of the first 6 games are at home. Crucially, the next 2 games are at home. It gives us a good chance of doing so. If we can come away with a point here, I think it'll be a good start and put us in good stead.
Well, it's a very exciting moment then here, because the 2 sides have just come out for our very first game in the Vanarama National. Welling United versus Guiseley. Welling, who will be playing in red shirts, red socks and white shorts. They line up with Tom King in goal, Louis Fazakali, Ben Jefford, Michael Chambers, Sar Cabo, Ricky Wellard, Tashan Adeyinka, Kevin Locko, Sam Corn, Reese Harris and Xavier Vidal. And on the bench, Mike McIntaggart, Zach Fagan, George Porter, Afolabi Obafemi and Kojo Awatwi. And then for the Lions, in goal, Stephen Drench, then Danny Lowe, Adam Lockwood, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Adam Boys, Tom Craddock, Will Hatfield, Nicky Boschel, Zach Thompson and Rob Atkinson. Substitutes today, Daniel Atkinson, Ryan Toulson, Gavin Rothery, Danny Hall and Liam Dickinson. So as we were talking about, we expected a back line with Drench in goal, Hatfield, Atkinson, Lockwood and Lowe. Lawler, Zach Thompson in midfield, holding positions, Nicky Boschel, Wade Brooksby out on the flanks, Adam Boys and Tom Craddock up front. And the 2 sides just going through their final paces before we're about to get underway here, ready for the very first game of this Vanarama National season.
Absolutely. In competitive football at last, 2 sides, both of which have got 5 new additions in each of the starting 11s. So that's going to be interesting to see who copes better with that, perhaps, in competitive matches. Who's going to have gelled the quickest, the best?
Well, the captains just taking up their positions in the middle of the park here, getting their photos taken with today's referee, Mr. Dean Treleven, and Adrian Gillett and Gregory Reid, the assistants, with the 4th official today of Paul Yates. And Guiseley in all yellow today in that new kit. Squad numbers.
Names
new
on the
badge,
back of shirts.
Names on the backs of shirts, yeah, that's another thing. Not that with my eyesight I can see them. And the Lions fans away to our left, enjoying the sunshine. They've been making their way on the team coach, not the team coach, but on the supporters coach. It was a full coach this morning that took their way to the ground, and it is certainly a day for them to celebrate and enjoy, and the Lions get ready for what looks like a change of ends. So they're just swapping over after doing the coin toss, and guys will be shooting from left to right. Stephen Drench and his opposite number Tom King just passing each other on the halfway line while Welling get into a huddle. No, and they've got a hard task ahead of them this season. 5 debutants today in their side, including Tom King, the goalkeeper there, a loanee from Millwall. This is no mean feat for either team in this division.
And absolutely not. You know, new faces, new teammates. As I say, pre-season has been crucial for both of these sides. It wasn't the best for Welling, but to be fair, ending it with the 1-0 defeat that guys did on Tuesday, it probably hasn't been the best pre-season that they would have hoped for. But it's certainly going to be an interesting battle between these two sides.
So we're just chuckling up here in the press area as we've all been advising each other on our team's lineups for the new season, and both of us have been getting it wrong.
It's been very difficult, hasn't it? Very difficult.
Welling, we've anticipated lining up as a 3-5-2 and turning up as a 4-4-2, and it's away we go. The whistle goes, and we're off for the new season here in the Vanarama National. And Guiseley are immediately called into defensive action, head up to the halfway line before the ball on the right-hand side. And Guiseley earn a free kick in left-back position after Sar Cabot commits a foul on Adam Lockwood. The captain is up and away, and Guiseley have a free kick in that corner flag in their left-back position.
Yeah, he was just being a bit too keen there, wants to Sar Cabot. Somebody that is somewhat familiar to me anyway, because he had a spell with Lincoln a couple of years ago. He didn't have the best of times and has moved down here, where he seems to have settled in a lot better.
The ball up in the air, taken down here by Rhys Harris. Harris plays it out to the left-hand side, but Guiseley get the ball away. Will Hatfield at right back doing well. Into the feet of Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby now towards Craddock. Craddock spins on the ball, sends it back here to Zach Thompson, the former Leeds United man, who was Bury's Young Player of the Season in 2012-13. Takes the ball down to try and keep the movement going, but Welling repel the Guiseley attack, and it's all the way back into the Lions half and picked up here by the player manager Louis Fazacali. Takes the throw, picks the ball back, looks to deliver the cross. In the end, opts to go back. And Welling keep the pressure on, put the ball into the area above everyone and into the hands of Stephen Drench.
Yeah, that's easy for Steve Drench to deal with. How crucial will he be this season? I think, you know, we've said it before about Steve Drench. He was arguably the best keeper in the Conference North or the National North. For me, he's probably still one of the best keepers in this league. He is that good.
Well, Welling just making a real hash of a clearance here, skying the ball up into the air. Guys, he can't capitalise. Both players full of beans as they come out, and both looking a little bit nervous. Both teams keen to make an impact in this lineup. It's gone out for a throw, and Welling have the ball just in front of us in this main stand in their left-back position. Ben Jefford, the defender, launches it forward. It's cleared by Guiseley and onto the roof of the stand above us. And another throw about level with the centre circle inside the Welling half, thrown down the left-hand side. Picked up again here by Cabba, who's a particularly lively character early doors in this game. Former Lincoln City player, came from Gloucester City, and he's already looking to make an impact this afternoon, but the ball on this occasion escapes him and goes back to Stephen Drench.
Certainly for me seems to be, as we speculated before on the way down, more of a 4-2-3-1. You know, when Guiseley aren't in possession, Adam Boyes is dropping deeper.
Good header away from Welling as Guiseley press forward, picked up here by Ben Jefford. Then launched clear by Locko. Kevin Locko heads it up towards the Guiseley back line, and in the end there's a free kick as I think it was Cabot and Rob Atkinson collided.
There's a bit of a physical mismatch there, isn't there, between them two?
And I think Cabot came off the worst there. He's just feeling himself a little bit. Guiseley have the free kick with Stephen Drench deep inside his own half. We've only got 4 minutes on the clock. It goes long, up in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. And then hard work comes in here from Will Hatfield, who tries to keep hold of the ball. Lockwood steps across and plays the ball forward. A good one up towards Boschel, but he stumbles and loses out. And now Welling come away with it. Boschel actually steps across. Sorry, it was Craddock who couldn't win the ball. Welling now into the Guiseley half here. Adeyinka tries to skip past Nicky Boschel, but he sticks at his task as the Guiseley man before the ball is clipped forward towards Cabba. Cabba on that right-hand flank, beats one. That earns his side a corner.
He's looking very, very lively, isn't he? The number 9 for Welling, Sar Cabba, is causing problems. He's got decent pair of feet on him. He's not afraid to pull out a couple of tricks every now and then. That's how he's just won this first corner of the game for Welling. 5
minutes gone here on Guiseley AFC Radio. 0-0 between the Lions and Welling. The Wings, however, have the first corner of the game, and they're going to send this one in from the right-hand side as they attack Stephen Drench's goal away to our left. Plenty of red shirts in that box to aim for. It goes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, plucked out of the sky well by Stephen Drench, and he sends the ball forward immediately towards Craddock. Craddock holds it up inside the Welling half, looks in field, or looks behind him actually, to give it to Hatfield. Hatfield square to Lawler. Lawler just inside the Welling half, gives it to Zach Thompson. Thompson out to the left-hand side where Nicky Boschel is looking to get on the end of it, and then good anticipation here by Thompson into the penalty area. Just lost the ball under his feet at the crucial moment, and Welling clear.
Yeah, he just ended up stumbling there, didn't he? He got the ball just about out of his feet and then almost tripped over it, and before he knew it, possession had gone.
No segregation today, obviously, at this game, and the Guiseley fans away now to our right behind the goal. Giving a good shout to Yorkshire, as we anticipated that one as well. We'll hear that one a few times today. Early goal in the local teams that we're following today. Swindon 0, Bradford City 1. I think it's finished 1-1 between Burnley and Leeds. And a goal already in the Vanarama National. Chester 1, Braintree 0. Chester, of course, Guiseley's opponents on Bank Holiday Monday. Meanwhile, the Lions just having to attend to a bit of defensive duties as Welling press, and then a ball over the top here, looking for Cabba. He chases that one down. It was a good ball forward from Xavier Vidal, but in the end it was well judged by Stephen Drench, who clears and sends the ball up towards Nicky Boschel. Boschel and Danny Lowe try to combine and keep the ball in touch, but can't. And it's going to be a throw into Welling and right back.
Well, what have we got? 7 minutes on the clock. It's been quite a lively start so far, hasn't it?
Couple of half chances. Tom Craddock a few moments ago just seemed to take a really dangerous position, looked threatening inside the penalty area. Unfortunately, sorry, it wasn't Tom Craddock, was it? It was Zach Thompson. He just couldn't keep the ball underneath his feet. Lost his footing at the crucial time. But Welling looked bright coming forward and make a good ball down this left flank now for Ben Jefford. Jefford crosses into the area. Good block in there by Rob Atkinson. And it's out for a Welling throw. About level with the penalty area on the left-hand side. Thrown infield. Pressed back now. Curled into the area on the edge of the D. Lockwood clears. But again, Welling press. Guiseley managed to clear the lines, and a chance for Craddock to relieve the pressure down the right-hand side for Guiseley. Craddock, though, is brushed off the ball there by Kevin Locko, who clears well, sends it up towards Cabba, who is always looking to run off the shoulder of the back line, and this time Lockwood was wily enough to see the danger and step across.
Well, that's one concern from the early doors, I think, is the pace that Sarkaba has, because, this is meant with no disrespect, but neither Lockwood nor Atkinson are particularly pacer. The ball over the top with someone with the pace and the legs of Sarkaba could be lethal. They're going to have to be very much aware of his presence.
Throw in. Ben Jefford takes. Throws it down the left-hand side, looking for Adeyinka. But Tashan Adeyinka lets that one go over his head. In the end, guys, he can't keep it in and concede the throw-in. And it's going to be a throw-in to Welling once the ball is returned. In fact, there's an absence of balls at the moment. I think it's gone all the way up into the other end of the field. So there's a brief stoppage in play, and a not unwelcome one given the temperatures out there today. We think temperature's about 25 degrees here. Warm. A little bit of a breeze around the ground, though. And now Welling get the game underway. Good ball here from Jefford once again. He can cross this one into the area. Cleared well by Atkinson. Helped away up to the centre circle, where good work from Craddock. Chests the ball down and gives it back. And now Zach Thompson lays it on to the feet of Lowe. Lowe plays it forward. Boys chasing down and pressing Locko, who is forced to put the ball out for a throw-in for Guiseley, about level with the penalty spot on the left-hand side. Yeah,
it's a dangerous position, isn't it? The likes of Boschel and Boys and Brooksby, Craddock all inside the penalty area.
Throw comes in into the chest of Nicky Boschel. He is trying to hold off the challenge of Michael Chambers. Blasts it against him, earns another throw from a very similar position to the first one. Danny Lowe looking to find Adam Boys, but Boys has to change his position. Boschel looks for the flick on, doesn't win it. And it's helped away there by Rhys Harris. Woking now pick up the ball with Adeyinka. And Welling even. Woking? Welling now knock the ball
we will see them this season.
Throw-in.
Just not yet.
I don't know where that came from. And it's a throw-in for the home side inside their own half.
Yeah, it's important that Guiseley don't concede early, and even with these couple of attacking throwing options, they haven't committed too many forward.
Ball now into the Guiseley half with Rhys Harris down the left-hand side, making some good progress. Well watched, though, there by the right back, Will Hatfield, who claimed he was clipped. And the home fans aren't too impressed with the referee's decision. But Mr. Treleaven has decided to give Guiseley the free kick in right-back position.
For me, it was slightly soft. I'm going to be honest with this. Hatfield did go down, and I was a little bit surprised that for a start he went down quite as easily as he did, and that the referee gave it. But we'll take it.
10 minutes gone, 0-0. Long one forward, picked up well by Craddock. Craddock on the edge of the D, he's trying to work out some space, gives it towards Zach Thompson. He takes a drive past the upright and behind for a goal kick. It was a good, well-crafted move there from Guiseley. Direct up to Craddock, took the ball down, laid it into the feet of Zach Thompson. Zach Thompson's drive, I think, with the left foot, didn't have the power or the direction to trouble Tom King, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, that was an excellent move, though, wasn't it? Great build-up play. Great work from Tom Craddock just to poke it across the edge of the penalty area into the path of Zach Thompson. He just didn't have the conviction to really trouble Tom King there, and it was a wasted chance, really, for what was Guiseley's best chance of the game so far.
Nodded on now here again by Thompson. Picked up here in distance by Tom Craddock, but a good foot across him by Fazakerley at the timely moment. Craddock was just about to chest the ball down, looking to potentially have a drive from distance. Fazakerley got a foot across there, and it's a Guiseley throw. Yeah,
the manager leading by example there to make sure he got across and got that ball clear.
Guiseley, a good spell here. And then Jake Lawler and Danny Lowe get their wires crossed, and the ball tamely goes out.
You spoke a second too soon then, didn't you?
No, I jinxed it, didn't I?
But no, you're quite right, though. It has been a good spell of pressure from Guiseley over this last 3 or 4 minutes or so. 12 minutes. And we can be relatively pleased with the way the game's gone so far.
Header away there by Atkinson. Ball over the top now, looking for Cameron. He's just got behind Lockwood. Lockwood works hard to get back in front of him, between him and the goal. Does so. Ball goes back here to Wellard. Wellard, the captain, sends it in, and it's just above the head of Rhys Harris at the back post there, and it goes behind for a goal kick, but it was a well-crafted move from Welling. The ball floated in from the right-hand side from Ricky Wellard. Another man making his debut today. Came from Sutton United, floated in towards the back post, and Rhys Harris was just looking to get on the end of it, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, just a couple of inches too high then, wasn't it, for Rhys Harris? He's looked very, very good so far in this game on this left-hand side for Welling.
Well, good clearance again by Vidal. Up into the guys' back line again. Lockwood actually tamely headers it towards Cabba. Gets a good enough connection on it to knock it out for a throw-in on the right-hand side. Ricky Wellard will take, lays it back here. And the ball delivered back into the area again. Headed away well this time by Zach Thompson. And then Adam Lockwood, as it's returned for Zackley, sends it long and over the top, and that time comfortable for Stephen Drench.
Yeah, that was, as you say, very, very easy for Drench to deal with. What do we got? Just short of 14. And
feels longer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does slightly, doesn't it? But I don't know, maybe it's not nerves so much, it's more excitement. But
Tom Craddock now on the ball for Guisey. It's up the other end this time. Wayne Brooksby down by the corner flag, curls one in, up towards the back post. Nicky Boschel sort of shaped his body to get onto the end of it, but Fazackley was there to just nod the ball away from him. Guisey still have it. Jake Lawler, not adapted too well actually so far today. Jake Lawler, he's had a couple of uncomfortable touches. Didn't seem to get the ball that time either, and the ball is out for a throw, which is taken by Danny Lowe. Up towards Adam Boyes, he flicks it on, but 2-1, and that will be comfortable for Michael Chambers to loft the ball up towards the halfway line, but Guisey recover possession. And it's played forward by Atkinson. A one over the top here, which Tom Craddock anticipates well. Takes it down to the corner flag, keeps it in play, lays it back here to Brooksby. Brooksby finds Hatfield, who's come up from right back. He lays it infield here to Zach Thompson. Thompson towards the edge of the penalty area where Craddock takes it, drills one from the edge of the area, hits the crossbar, bounces away and cleared eventually by Louis Fazackley. But good build-up play from Guisey and a great piece of movement there from Tom Craddock as well.
Absolutely outstanding effort there from Tom Craddock, wasn't it? How unfortunate is that? Just rattles the top of the crossbar. Superb drive, though, from the number 10.
Almost first blood to Guiseley. 0-0, though, here. 15 minutes gone. Welling on the attack. The ball down the right-hand side, helped out of play by Lockwood. Adam Lockwood, and takes up his position once again. But, oh, my goodness, how close was that from Tom Craddock to breaking the deadlock?
Inches. It's as simple as that. That was a cracking effort. It just seemed to dip at the last second, didn't it, before glancing off the top of the crossbar.
Couple in the Vanarama National North. Chorley 0, Nuneaton 1, and Curzon Ashton 0, Corby 1. That's where we could have been had we not had that marvellous second half performance. Losing to Nuneaton, as it is. We're 0-0 here against Welling, and the ball's on the right-hand side again for Welling as they attack. Adeyinka now on the touchline, lays it back here to Wellard. He plays it back here to the manager, Louis Fazackley. His cross is blocked by Nicky Boschel, and it's a throw-in, which is taken quickly. Wellard bounces the ball against Nicky Boschel. Big shout, a handball against Nicky Boschel, but the referee doesn't agree, and then Guiseley almost win the ball with Tom Craddock. But it's well recovered by the home side, and good work there from Sam Corn. Now steps up Kevin Locko here to Ben Jefford. Jefford and Locko exchange passes for Welling as they clip the ball forward up towards the edge of the D, and then eventually helped back by Jake Lawler to Stephen Drench. Drench gets his foot underneath it. He doesn't make a clean clearance, and then Corn wins the ball again until he's dispossessed well by Adam Boyes. Boyes sends it forward. He's clipped by Corn, and a free kick is awarded, but Tom Craddock appreciates the work ethic of Adam Boyes, gives him a clap, and actually, had Adam Boyes been able to play that ball cleanly, he might have found Tom Craddock in a very good position.
Yeah, very much. It was almost the killer pass, wasn't it? But just wasn't to be. He was caught as he played it. And with free kick and plenty of yellow shirts going forward for this one.
Guys are now with a free kick on the halfway line, but they're lining up 6 or 7 players on the edge of the penalty area. It's taken by Atkinson, long towards the edge of the D, where Lockwood can't win the ball. Jake Lawler can, but he's pressed with it back here. It's drilled in by Hatfield, takes a deflection off a defender, and it's behind for Guisey's first corner of the game, and that one could have gone anywhere.
Absolutely. decent attempt there from Hatfield. He had one thought in his mind. As soon as he got that ball a couple of yards in front of him, he was going to strike it low and hard. And as it is, just takes that deflection off a Welling player. As you say, it could have gone anywhere.
Kevin Locko, the man who just got the deflection. Guys, his first corner. 17 minutes gone, 18 minutes gone. Nicky Boschel will take this from the right-hand side. The lines of 2 players on the line, one in front of the goalkeeper, Craddock, I believe. This one comes in, it finds space, and Atkinson was in acres of space. Completely free, but he couldn't make the connection on the ball. Guys, you need to make these chances tell.
Very
in the
much
end,
so.
Welling get the ball away and earn a free kick after Brooksby goes in for the challenge with Adeyinka. And Brooksby's on the ground at the moment. But what a chance that one was, although it didn't even go near the goal because Atkinson didn't make the connection. He was in great space, wasn't he?
It really was one of those anyone but him. You know, we've signed Rob Atkinson for his heading and clearing ability at the back. Of all the people for that to fall to, you wouldn't have wanted it to be him, to be honest. Anybody but him, and chances are that would have been 1-0 Guiseley.
0-0 it is, though. And Welling have a free kick. It goes forward, headed away by Atkinson, helped on by Jake Lawler, whose foot was allegedly high on Sam Corn. Referee didn't agree. And then quite a chase there by Rhys Harris to try and keep the ball in play, and he's collided and gone down with the hoardings. Meanwhile, and the referee is telling players to go away. Corn, meanwhile, is still down from that challenge with Jake Lawler, and there's quite a bit off the ball here going on. 2 Welling players down.
Everyone's rather pumped up, aren't they, for this first day? There's also a man who's down off the pitch behind the goal. Yeah, I think it's Rhys Harris that collided with the advertising boards and has come off worse. But he's not really moved since. One of the subs is going over to have a look at him, whilst the physio is dealing with the man in the middle.
Well, it's Sam Corn who was in that tackle. Jake Lawler, I think, won the ball. I think they were arguing that the angle of his feet was high. But Sam Corn is down. But right down on the left-hand side, it was a nasty collision from Rhys Harris with the hoardings as he was trying to keep the ball in play. And they're trying to get somebody to go and see him on this left-hand side because he's clearly not right. And the physio for Welling is busy trying to deal with Sam Corn. And
he can't be in 2 places at once, can he?
He's lacking an approach. I wonder if...
I think Martin was having a look then.
Martin Stringfellow. I think he's going to go across and see to him. Anyway, 0-0 here. And, well, it's a chance for us to take a bit of respite, give you some scores. Bromley 0, Wrexham 1. Lincoln City 0, Cheltenham 1. So Cheltenham...
You're going to take great pleasure in this.
Cheltenham are taking the lead here at Lincoln City. Wrexham have taken the lead at Bromley. 0-0 here. Correction, actually, Lincoln City 0, Cheltenham 0. So the goal scorer has been racked off. So no goal there. And right, we're just getting a tip off here. We did see the incident that when the initial tackle went in, the tackle between Sam Corn and the referee, and this is something they're clamping down on apparently in the league at the moment, is players surrounding the referee, and when the referee points to it, it can lead to a fine. And a colleague from Welling here just explaining that that is exactly what happened to them a couple of times last season. So we'll need to watch that discipline.
Yeah, I heard in Louis Fazackerly's pre-match interviews that, one of the things he outlined was that there is a greater need for control of discipline within the football club. I think they suffered numerous suspensions last season. That's, I say, something that the whole club and Louis Fazackerly is looking to get sorted at Welling.
Long clearance from goalkeeper King. Up towards the edge of the 18-yard box as we finally get away in this game. The clearance from Hatfield, blocked down well by Adeyinka, who's a real energetic player, working across that front line. Cabra as well, who's had a very bright start. It seems to have faded a little bit in recent moments. Aldershot 1, Gateshead 0. And this fixture, what a trip for Dover. Barrow 0, Dover 1. Making it worthwhile. We're at Barrow on the 18th, a week on Tuesday. On Tuesday, of course, we're at home to Altrincham. Hatfield now with the throw. Takes it, gives it to Brooksby. Hatfield square now to Thompson. Back to Danny Lowe at left back. Looks ahead of him. Plays it down the left flank, looking for Boys. Boys heads into Boschel. Boys and Boschel combine well. Boschel into the area. Plays it across. It's blocked. Boschel gets the return ball. Seems to hit the arm of a Welling player. Now, I don't think it was deliberately a block. It was one of those that could have been given, and one of those that you might have felt was harsh, but it was a contentious moment there. Guiseley still keep the ball. Meanwhile, on the halfway line with Zach Thompson. Jake Lawler in here to Wayne Brooksby. Goes on a little bit of a run and then stands on the ball. Gets up and collects it again. He completely foxed Xavier Vidal. And now Guiseley have got the chance to play this one forward with Danny Lowe. Danny Lowe skips past one player, just. But Sam Corn, happily unfazed by that collision with Jake Lawler, wins the ball and then plays a rather aimless one down the right-hand side, and it's out for a throw-in.
Well, that was a very contentious moment, wasn't it, for a couple of seconds or so. I know all the Guiseley fans behind the goal to our right, they were desperate to see that given. And it was one of those, it clearly did strike the arm, but there wasn't a great deal it could do. But the arm was out. Should the arm have been out there in the first place is the way that some people would view it. So you've seen him given. I think it's one of those. Should we settle for that?
Yeah, you've seen him given, and it would have been hard if it had been. Good header from Cabba on the edge of the 18-yard box as Guiseley have to do a bit of defending here. They've had some positive stuff, and they've been under some pressure as well from Welling, and they're under pressure at the moment now as Xavier Vidal plays the ball up towards the edge of the D, and in the end a free kick is given against Adeyinka. And Rob Atkinson is the man who's been shoved on this instance.
Yeah, he's a big fellow. He's a bit of a hard unit. I'm sure he'll be back on his feet as he is. Just thinking, do you reckon that fencing behind the goal to our left is high enough? Anything over there, it's in straight onto Welling High Street.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those shots, haven't we, in our time over the nets. The long one forward, headed away. Picked up now by Zach Thompson, and then Hatfield tries to intercept, but Welling come away with the ball now on this left-hand side. Reese Harris down this left flank. Just got a little bit of legs on Hatfield. Gets the ball into the area. Finds his man. Cabba lays it back ill, and Adeyinka takes a shot. It's blocked well. Adeyinka did not take that with the determination or the power that he could have done. The ball back into the area and over his head and out, but that really was a golden chance there for Welling to take the lead. The ball well worked into the penalty area from Reese Harris, laid off by Cabba, and there was Tashan Adeyinka ready to pounce, but he sort of hit the ball rather tamely, gave just enough chance for Will Hatfield to anticipate and get a blocking challenge in, and Guiseley survive.
Yeah, it was a bit sheepish, wasn't it? It's one of those that if you're a Welling fan, you're just wanting to put his foot through it, just get everything he's got behind it, and it could go anywhere from there. But it didn't work out, and thankfully for Guiseley, that's a chance wasted for Welling.
Headed out now by Rob Atkinson. Throw in for Welling on the halfway line. Ben Jefford to take. He plays it down that left flank. Adeyinka again looking to get on the end of it. He can't win that one, but does win the throw. A couple of goals in the Vanarama National North that will be of interest. And another one, an equaliser for Bromley against Wrexham, one each. Solihull have gone 2-0 up against A.F.C. Fylde, the team we beat in the semi-finals. And Bradford Park Avenue have taken the lead against Alfreton. 0-0 here. Welling on the attack, but Guiseley win the ball back here with Wayne Brooksby. He plays it forward, looking for Adam Boyes down that left-hand side. He's up against the centre-half, Michael Chambers, who manages to get a touch onto it and then clears the ball into touch, and I think he's followed through. If I just glance down for a moment, I think he's going to get booked here, isn't he? Because he's kicked the ball away from Adam Boyes to prevent him taking it quickly. Yeah.
It's a bit of ill discipline, and again, this is what we'll be absolutely doing Louis Fazackley's nutting, because he did just. It's needless.
Well, I think he was worried that Adam Boyes was going to be able to take it quickly, and the fact was there were players behind play, so rather perhaps he took one for the team potentially from Welling's perspective, in making sure that Guiseley couldn't return the ball quickly into play as Adam Boyes might have wanted to do. In the end, Guiseley haven't taken the throw in the right time. So we have another brief delay. Just to remind you, if you want to tweet us, at Guiseley Radio. We're delighted to hear your thoughts. And if they're clean, we'll even read them out. The ball now floated in by Danny Lowe, almost above Nicky Boschel, and almost working its way through to Tom Craddock. Goes beyond him. They claim it took a deflection off a Welling player, and it has indeed gone out, but this time I don't know if it's a corner or a throw-in because the ball went right down that corner flag from a partially obstructed view where we've got. Have a feeling it'll be a throw-in.
Yep,
just
throw-in
up from
it
the corner flag. And it's taken,
Oh.
and it's wasted, and it's picked up by Corn. And then Welling in turn return the ball to Guiseley and knock it out rather tamely for a throw. Needed to be put down the line. Guiseley picked the ball up here with Thompson. Thompson square to Jake Lawler. Lawler plays it in towards Hatfield. It's a little bit over hit, but Hatfield recovers the ball well in towards the edge of the D. Up in the air now from Tom Craddock, and now a chance for Welling to counter-attack. And Adeyinka uses his strength well. Adeyinka winning the ball now at the corner flag on the left-hand side. Up against Lockwood. Lockwood holds him off for a while. Sends the ball back here to Rhys Harris. Rhys Harris spins on the ball. He's tackled there by Adam Lockwood, and then Guiseley get the ball away, but only as far as Ben Jefford. 1-2 here between him and Ricky Wellard. Ricky Wellard sends the ball in towards the edge of the area. Cabba goes in for it. Tackle comes in from Adam Lockwood. Perfectly timed in the end, and it needed to be. And it's helped away, but only as far as Xavier Vidal, and then the ball's up in the air. Guiseley can't clear. Zach Thompson swipes at it, misses it. It's picked up now by Corn. Sam Corn on the ball is tripped, or clipped rather, by Hatfield, and Guiseley concede a free kick just a few yards from the D, very central in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, very much so, isn't it? Excellent position for Welling to have this set piece. Well, what a challenge. Must comment on that challenge a moment or two before, hadn't we? Because it was an excellent challenge from Adam Lockwood, used all of his experience there. As I say, from that challenge, though, Guiseley still weren't able to get rid of it. In the end, they've conceded this free kick in a very, very dangerous position.
Half an hour gone, 0-0. Welling with a free kick, and it's just to the left of the D, a few yards up from the edge of the D on the penalty area. Guiseley have a four-man wall. Cabba adds himself onto the end of it. Two men stand over it. It's going to be Wellard. He drives it in, and it's a poor free kick in the end, and it goes over and behind for a goal kick to the Lions.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of free kicks that Ricky Willow will have ever taken, I would imagine. Just got far too much on it. Never troubled the goalkeeper.
Barrow 1, Dover 1. Equaliser for the Bluebirds after Dover had taken an early lead in that game. Lincoln City 0, Cheltenham 1. That goal has now gone in. There was thought that there was one earlier on. And Bromley 2, Wrexham 1. That was a complete turnaround. And meanwhile on the field, Tom Craddock has gone in for a challenge and has conceded a free kick, and the home fans really didn't like that, did they, Chris? Just give us an overview of what happened there.
There was a high foot on the manager, Louis Fazackerley, and as Craddock looked to get somebody on it, Fazackerley went in with his head. He was caught fractionally. I think he's giving it more for a high boot than for making any form of serious contact.
No yellow card, just a talking to from the referee, Dean Treleaven. Ball goes forward, headed on into the penalty area, helped into the hands of Stephen Drench by Adeyinka. And guys who get the ball clear away by Sam Corn. And it's all the way back to Stephen Drench. It's actually a throw-in. I just looked down 2 minutes. I looked down because Nick Keefe was just sending me a text message. I was just checking we were on air. And he said, good commentary so far. And just as he did that, I scuffed the commentary. The ball's gone back to Stephen Drench. He places a good foot through it, up towards the back line, headed away. Again, Welling holding tight now at the back. Guiseley now pressing here. Adam Boys follows the ball all the way back, but it's a good header from Chambers into the hands of Tom King. And the lonely goalkeeper making his debut today for Welling. He pats the ball down, fires it forward, headed away now by Lowe and out for a throw. And it's still Guiseley 0, or Welling 0, Guiseley 0. Fazackerley with a throw, plays it forward. It's a good one. It's laid down here for Corn. Adeyinka did exactly what he needed to do, which was win the ball, head it down, and play it into the feet of Sam Corn. And it was blasted high and wide, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And it's been an interesting, it's sort of beginning to lose that early pace, isn't it? Not surprisingly, given the temperature and the energy at which both sides have attacked each other in these early stages. The finishing for both teams just hasn't been of the quality yet to get on top, has it, on either side?
No, it's got that opening day feel, hasn't it, from the finishing so far, but as you say, it's finally having a bit of a lull, isn't it, because it's been a high-tempo start in this game.
Well, Cabba was offside, and it took an age before the flag on that far side went up. Cabba was clearly off, and you feel for him. He chases the ball because he thinks there might be something in it. And it's one of those decisions where the referee's assistant has to wait until he actually touches the ball before they stick the flag up. The free kick is taken, sent down the left flank, won by Craddock, and then cleared, picked up now by Jake Lawler. Lawler floats it into the penalty area, picked up by Wayne Brooksby, and then Adam Boys with a good shot on the volley, the half volley. He spun, struck it well, but it was always rising, and in the end it's just over the bar and into the Guiseley fans behind that goal.
Excellent bit of creativity, wasn't it, from Wayne Brooksby. Just nodded it down into the path of Adam Boys, and he didn't have time to think about what he was going to do. He just struck it on the bounce. It was only, yard or two over the top of the crossbar.
Clearance now. Up towards Atkinson, who heads it away, but it's picked up again by Rhys Harris. Adiyinka again in the thick of things. Guiseley come away with it, though, and Wayne Brooksby, who runs with the ball, is beaten to it by Vidal. Laid back to the centre-half Chambers. Chambers launches it long. In the end, the offside flag is up again. And again, it's going to be a Guiseley free kick.
One particularly interesting thing, I think, that we were informed of earlier, for the first time this season, or for this season being the first time, the referees and the assistants all mic'd up so they can all communicate during the match. First time that's happened at this level of football.
Well, that's good, actually, isn't it? They've got an earplug in their ears. Keep them away from Adie's comments on the sidelines.
Yeah, because you don't want to be on the receiving end of those sometimes, do you, to be honest? He's a bit of a passionate man, isn't he, our Ada?
0-0 here. Might be quite happy with what he's seen in many aspects so far, though, this afternoon. Guiseley, one holding their own here. Welling have just managed to clear the lines and earned a throw-in inside their own half. It was a real 50-50 coming together between Fazakerley and Craddock. Similar to the time the two of them went in just a few moments before. And a couple of goals in the Vanarama National North. Bradford Park Avenue 2, Alfreton 0. Gloucester City 1, FC United 0, making their debut in that division. Stockport County 1, Boston United 0. And in our division, it's kind of takes some getting used to. Aldershot still leading Gateshead 1-0, Altrincham and Forest Green 0-0. Barrow 1, Dover 1. Boreham Wood 0, Halifax 0. Bromley 2, Wrexham 1. Guiseley, obviously here 0-0. Chester 1, Braintree 0. Kidderminster 0, Grimsby 0. Lincoln 0, Cheltenham 1. Southport 0, Eastleigh 0. Torquay 0, Macclesfield 0. Tranmere 0, Woking 0. And we wait for the ball to come back.
Because I think one of them's on the cricket pitch over there.
We know how that feels. 36 minutes gone. Ball has to be recovered. Nuneaton have gone 2-0 up now against Chorley. It could have been us. The ball played forward, cleared. Well by Chambers. Stephen Drench comes out of his area, heads the ball forward. And then somehow Jake Lawler doesn't win the header against Cabba. There's a good foot between them. And then Nicky Boschel just uses his arm to control the ball, concedes a free kick. And Welling now sense they could make an impression on this half as they play the ball forward with Xavier Vidal in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Welling still on the ball. Rhys Harris can't win it, and then there will be a free kick, and Harris has been pulled back and will be shown the yellow card, and the second man to go into the book this afternoon. Not entirely sure I saw cleanly what that was for. He was trying to win the ball back from behind two players, wasn't he?
Yeah, there was a bit of a pullback from Rhys Harris, but nothing particularly dramatic. Nothing for me that would have warranted a yellow card, especially.
Shirt pull, I'm advised. I think that sounds like a fair summary. Free kick taken by Atkinson up towards the right-hand flank. Brooksby can't control. It goes out for a throw-in.
In that position, though, is a short puller booking, really?
Well, depends whether he's been spoken to before.
It's a bit of a soft game for me if a shirt booking in that position near enough the halfway line is a yellow card.
Meanwhile, Welling have the ball. Wellard lays it out to Fazakerley over the halfway line to the right-hand side of him. Wellard keeps the run going. Flick gets past Boschel. Nicky Boschel sticks to his task. The ball floated in towards the back post, over everyone, in fact, and into the terraces behind.
Yeah, not the best of deliveries from that right-hand side. I'd say it was one that was comfortably over the top of the crossbar. But what we got 6-7 minutes ago till half-time, it's been a good game. It's been an entertaining game.
Just needs that breakthrough, doesn't it? And you do wonder whether guys have perhaps had some of the better chances in this half, and maybe they'll rue the fact they didn't take one or two of the better chances that they had. Welling, meanwhile, have had some good possessions, and then there's a free kick given against Atkinson on Adeyinka. That's been a real battle between two strong, powerful players. Adeyinka this time is bundled to the ground and wins the free kick. He, of course, had an excellent chance for Welling in that earlier stages of this game. Now here comes Xavier Vidal to float this one in. A free kick for Welling. Midway through the Guiseley half on the left-hand side. He floats it in long and towards the edge of the back post. There's a free header, and then the ball is put into the net. And Cabba celebrates. Sar Cabba gives Welling the lead on 39 minutes. Welling United 1, Guiseley 0.
Absolutely terrific ball in from Xavier Vidal. And nobody picked up the runner. There was 3 or 4 at the back post. The free one gets his head on it, nods it across, makes it very difficult for Steve Drench and the guys in defence to deal with. And there was Sal Cabba just to stab it into the back of the net. As we say, 40 minutes gone now, and it's Welling 1, Guiseley 0.
Not the start we were looking for. And Guiseley now trail here at Welling by a goal to 0. And they have some work to do. Jake Lawler gives the ball from the kick-off to Danny Lowe, who sends it down the left-hand side, looking for Adam Boyes. Boyes flicks on. Welling clear. They help it away up towards the scorer, goal scorer, Sar Cabba. He's offside again.
Let's just talk about that delivery. What a ball in from Vidal. It was so hard to deal with, as it proved to be.
I think my frustration is the fact, I think it was Loco maybe at the back post had come forward, who headed across. He found oceans of space. And we just, for a moment, had a defensive lapse and we were rightly punished for it. But Guiseley now are on the attack with Zach Thompson. He lays it into Danny Lowe. He chips it up in the air. Nicky Boschel won't win that header. Cabot just has a little nudge on Adam Lockwood to make sure that he wasn't going to win that header, and Guiseley get the free kick on the halfway line. Yeah,
the locals aren't happy about that, are they? Because they thought it was very soft, that free kick to be given in Guiseley's favour.
Dover taking the lead. Now trailing 2-1. Now Guiseley pick up the ball on the left-hand side with Danny Lowe. Danny Lowe keeps going in the air, he can't win it. Good clearance comes in from Wellard. Guiseley now have a throw level with the 6-yard box.
Safety first from Ricky Wellard, the captain there. Just punts that well into the cricket pitch behind the stand opposite us. Wasn't taking his chances of that being crossed in.
Boreham Wood 1, Halifax 0, and it was Barrow 2, Dover 1. 1-0 now to Welling here. Guiseley on the attack though, on the left-hand side here. Throw in from Danny Lowe, up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, flicked on. Wayne Brooksby can't collect. There's a big shout from behind by the Guiseley fans. They feel that there was a push on Lockwood. Referee doesn't agree. Atkinson gives the ball here to Thompson. Thompson has to try and thread this one forward as Guiseley try to keep the ball moving. Lawler again on the ball, unable to get possession of the ball. And Guiseley clear with Atkinson. Up here to Boys. Boys gets the flick on. Boschel not in territory to win that one. He closed down Jefford well. And in the end, the ball bobbles around wickedly in the penalty area, and Tom King grasps it just before it leaves the 18-yard box.
Yeah, good closing down, to be fair, from Bosch. I don't think he thought at first he was going to be able to do much on that. Put the pressure on the goalkeeper. Now,
Hatfield clears for Guiseley. Flicked on by Brooksby. Up to the halfway line. Picked up here by Jefford. Good tackle comes in from Thompson. Guiseley concede the throw again. And Welling boosted by that goal with 2 minutes before the break. Now applying a little bit of pressure here. Jefford has options ahead of him, but they're in no hurry. And the Wings are just taking their time. And Guiseley protest. The ball played forward, headed on here by Atkinson. Atkinson puts his foot through the ball, and it clears the stand. New ball will be required, and that will give more chance for the time just to be worn down here. Played up by Wellard into the penalty area. Cabba goes chasing again. He's offside. Stephen Drench has to put this one down and try and get this ball forward. Perhaps just before the break. Guys, he might sneak one, but we only have a minute to go, plus whatever stoppages there'll be. Southport 0, Eastleigh 1. Kidderminster 0, Grimsby 1, and now Bromley 3, Wrexham 1. And in West Yorkshire teams, Huddersfield have gone a goal behind to Hull City. Adam Lockwood, as Guiseley enjoyed a spell of possession there briefly, has just sent the ball into the stand again. And Welling have a throw. Ben Jefford will take, plays it down that left-hand side. Free kick is given. And this time, Adeyinka is the man who's been spoken to by the referee for a push. I think on Atkinson.
I think it was Hatfield, and he just basically flung him off him. A little bit overzealous.
Well, there's the captain, Wellard, who's been brought across to speak to the referee as well. And the added time board is shown. 3 added minutes. There's been quite a few stoppages, hasn't there, in the first half? Instance where 2 Welling players were down at once in different parts of the pitch, and that took a wee while to sort out. So Guiseley have another couple of minutes, perhaps, and a free kick inside their own half with players lining up on the edge of the D. Adeyinka just has to make his way back into that back line. Stephen Drench takes the free kick, launches it towards the edge of the D. Lockwood is up, flicks it on, headed away again by Welling. Cleared by Sam Corn. Forward, up towards Cabba. Cabba takes it down. He's taking it down well on his right foot. Tricky character he is, but he's dispossessed well by Danny Lowe. And Danny Lowe gets the ball up to the halfway line, but it's not sticking for Guiseley at the moment. And Fazakali is caught, and that will certainly be a booking, I'm sure, on this occasion for Zach Thompson. And the home crowds think that's been coming, but Zach Thompson just caught him late, and he's the first Guiseley player to be booked in the Vanarama National.
Yeah, justified as well, I think, because as you say, got his timing all wrong and did catch the Welling player manager.
And it could be costly. Guiseley now have to defend a free kick that Welling will launch towards the edge of the area. It's out by the touchline on the right-hand side, about level with the edge of the centre circle. And it's floated in towards the edge of the D, up towards Adeyinka. It's taken a deflection ahead of him. And I think it was... I think it might even have been Keto who got the... Loco, sorry, who got the touch on the ball. And... it's gone behind for a goal kick nonetheless, as we approach the final minute or so of stoppages. With Guiseley trailing by a goal to 0. A goal on 39 minutes from Sarkaba. A super header there from the full-back, the left-back. Ben Jefford sends the ball all the way back into Stephen Drench. And Stephen Drench will now launch this one forward. Up towards the edge of the penalty area. Picked up here by Brooksby again. Guiseley just can't keep hold of this ball. Brooksby works hard though, wins the ball back off Corn. Now lays it down the right-hand side, but doesn't find the ball he's looking for to Nicky Boschel. But he does force Kevin Loco into putting the ball out for a Guiseley throw. Last chance of this first half. Perhaps the Lions can just force the pressure one more time.
Yeah, an excellent position. If Guiseley can make something with this throw.
Throw is taken on this right-hand side by Hatfield. Flicked on by Boschel into the, out of play and into the hand of the goalkeeper for a goal kick, in fact. And a rather uninspiring end to the first half it is indeed, isn't it, for Guiseley? We had some really bright spells in this game, but conceding, as we have done, seems to have just knocked the stuffing out of us a little bit.
Yeah, it's cliched, but that's quite right, isn't it? Because since that goal in the last 7 or 8 minutes, 7 minutes, we just haven't looked the same. It's going to be good, I think, for the lads to get into half-time, regroup and go again for the second half.
Guiseley have a throw in right-back position, headed up to the halfway line, picked up by Harris. Harris plays it into the feet of Cabba. Cabba spins again on the ball. A very impressive first 45 from him. And the referee calls time on that first half. A half marked by 1 goal, and it's gone to the home side. Sarah Cabba scored from a free kick, nodded back across the goal. And it was Loco who nodded it back across, and Cabba was on hand inside the 6-yard box to poke it home. Guiseley have had their own chances. They hit the crossbar with Tom Craddock, but haven't been able to force the ball over the line at the key points, and have been duly punished. Half-time here, Welling United 1, Guiseley 0.
Yeah, it's been a little bit disappointing, hasn't it, from Guiseley's point of view? As we said, they've had the spells. First half an hour, plenty of action from both sides, but it just hasn't worked out the way Mark Bauer would have wanted, with that half-time score of 1-0, and it was Slack defending for the goal. Sarkaba was just free inside the 6-yard box, and he's paid the price for it, of Guiseley. As we say, 1-0 to the home side.
So, half-time here. Let's just quickly go down the score lines of the games we've been following, and then we'll have a chat with Dave Kendra. See what Nick also make, our Twitter manager today, Nick Sharp, and do a bit of a post-mortem on that first 45 with these two guys. But let's quickly go down the scores. We've just been following local teams in the Championship. Leeds 1, Burnley 1, finished that way. Hull 1, Huddersfield 0. Swindon 0, Bradford City 1. Now, Vanarama National. Aldershot 1, Gateshead 0. Altrincham 0, Forest Green 0. Barrow 2, Dover 1. Dover took the lead in that game. Barrow scoring twice in that first half to come back and lead 2-1 at half-time. Boreham Wood 1, Halifax 0. Still playing there. Bromley 3, Wrexham 1. Great scoreline that for Bromley, who were trailing at home to Wrexham, as you might have expected, but Bromley have turned that one round. 3-1 they lead there. Chester 1, Braintree 0. Kidderminster 0, Grimsby Town 1. Lincoln City 0, Cheltenham 1. Southport 0, Eastleigh 1. Torquay 0, Macclesfield 0. Tranmere 0, Woking 0. And of course Welling United 1, Guiseley 0. We'll talk about that briefly. Vanarama National North, and we're following the teams in this division still. Brackley 0, Harrogate Town 0. Bradford Park Avenue 2, Alfreton 0. Chorley 1, Nuneaton 2. Chorley getting a goal back there. Curzon-Ashton 1, Corby 1. Corby took the lead. 2 promoted sides playing each other. Curzon-Ashton equalising. Gainsborough 0, Worcester City 0. Gloucester City 1, FC United 0. Hensford 1, Stalybridge Celtic 0. Lowestoft 0, Telford United 0. Solihull 2, Fylde 0. Fylde reduced to 10 men in that game. Stockport County 2, Boston United 0. And Tamworth 0, North Ferriby 0. So, well, let's get the thoughts at half-time of two of our very venerable media team members, Dave Kendra and Nick Sharp, who will just give us their thoughts on that first 45.
Thanks, Colin. I've got Nick Sharp with me here. I mean, you know what? It's a measure of how well we played, I think, that we're even disappointed at half-time. I think for that first 35 minutes, we matched Welling. They've come at us. They've come at us very quick. They've got a lot of very
physical players. Adeyinka particularly is a beast of a man who must be approximately 8 foot tall. Either that or he's standing really close to me, I don't know. But he's really bullied the central defence. And at one point I saw Cabba. Now, he's not a beast of a man. He's a little quick fella who's trying to take players on. And I saw him jump at least 9 feet in the air to beat Adam Lockwood to a header at one point. These guys are quick, they are strong, and they are up for it. And they are not here to lose. They're going to go for us, and they're going to try and bully us out of this game. And at the minute, they're not bullying us out of the game, but they are so big. I can't emphasise enough how big Adeyinka is. I mean, you saw him as well, and the first thing you said to me is number 14, he's a big unit, and he fits every single definition of a big unit, and he's dominating our central defence at this point. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I very much agree with you. I think their pace and power up front is causing us major problems. I think the two centre-backs have been solid, but they do seem to be struggling when the ball's played over the top. But apart from that, I think going forward we look dangerous. We've had a few chances, and hopefully it's just for me. I think it's just a case of making that breakthrough, and I think we could go on to win the game.
Okay, so positives going forward. I would say Tom Craddock's had an excellent game. He's caused a few problems. He hit the bar. Turned on the edge of the box, hit the bar left-footed, keeper beaten all ends up. I think Jake Lawler's not quite settled in this game. He's scuffed the ball a couple of times. I think he just needs to get used to the...
Zach Thompson had a really good chance. He was played in by Craddock and he scuffed it wide, didn't he? And then before that he was... he'd got himself through on goal and fluffed his lines, so maybe that's a little bit of match sharpness lacking. Or
yeah, well, I mean, it's the first day of the season. It's always going to be that way. There's, I think it is. It's match sharpness. It's that
he's not played many games for the last 2 years, so
and he's still settling into a new team. So I think there's a lot of positives to be taken out of it. This sort of fledgling partnership between Boys and Craddock. I think while they've not got much change out of their out of the defence so far, they have created a couple of chances. Craddock, as I say, particularly. What would be a worry for me is we're not holding on to the ball as well as we normally do, as well as we would like to. I think there's a few times, I've mentioned Jake Lawler, but also Wayne Brooksby, just a little uncertain on the ball, just tripping over it, just not quite as balanced as you would hope them to be. I mean, maybe that's just something that will, as they get used to the level that they're at the higher pace. I mean, there's no doubt that 45 minutes was played at pretty much a higher pace than anything I saw last season. It was quick and physical, and I think that's playing into Welling's hands at the moment. What we need to do is get our foot on the ball, get it on the ground and pass it around and keep possession and frustrate them.
I agree. I think it's a case of implementing our game plan on them and not letting them impose theirs upon us, which seems to be the case in the first half for me.
How do you feel like the new signings are settling in? Will Hatfield, Atkinson?
Well, Craddock looks a hell of a player. He looks like he's playing well below his station in this match to me. And then Zach Thompson, he looks bright, he looks lively, he looks good on the ball, he's got a few good touches. Will Hatfield is very, very steady. And Rob Atkinson, like I said, I think he's struggled a little bit with the balls coming over the top and the power of Adeyinka and the 8 foot tall man and Cabba, the small one with a big leap. So
salmon-like, I think you'd call it salmon.
Yeah, I think you would.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you mentioned Rob Atkinson there, and of course he had that glorious opportunity from a corner.
Yeah. I think.
Yep. I mean, it came across to him,
yeah,
and honestly, he
just couldn't get his foot around it, could he?
Welling just stopped dead for a second there. I'm sure they'll be wanting to address that sort of defensive error in the second half. But and as Chris said during the commentary, if the last person you'd want that foot to fall to is your central defender.
Exactly.
It's. I mean, I think there's a lot of positives to be taken from this first half performance, and I think we're not out of this game yet. I think we can get some change out of their central defence. We do need to hold on to the ball a bit better, and I think. I think if we can play at our pace rather than theirs, and I think what we need to do, just slow it down a little bit. Don't be rushed. They're running at us every time we get the ball. Every time either of our central defenders has got the ball, Adeyinka or Kaba, have been really, really at them and really closing them down very, very quickly. And that's working well for Welling at the moment. But I don't think we're out of this at all.
No, I think we've definitely got a chance. I think if we, like I said, impose our game plan on them, disrupt their flow a little bit, take the game to our own tempo, I think we've definitely got a chance of creating a lot more opportunities. And hopefully with Craddock on the form that he looks to be on, hopefully he can put one of those away.
Looking at the outfield subs for Guiseley today, you've got Ryan Toulson, Gavin Rothery, Danny Hall and Liam Dickinson. Do you know what? I'm going to go back on everything I said during the playoff final. Get Liam Dickinson out there today. Get Liam Dickinson out there and get him doing what he's best at. Get him into that penalty area. Get him elbowing people. Not elbowing people, obviously, but get him involved. Chris, you've got something to say about that?
Yeah, no, I think you're completely right, actually. This game up front is calling out for physicality. And we are... Craddock's full of running. He's been excellent with his display so far, I think. Boys, he's struggled, hasn't he, so far to get into the game or to be dangerous. To be fair, we saw in the playoff final what Dickinson can be good at. We hadn't seen it previously, but in that playoff final, with direct play into him, he was unplayable. He was outstanding. And that perhaps is what we need out of him today. Although we need a much better performance out of him if he does come on than we saw on Tuesday night in the pre-season friendly, because he was losing headers that, frankly, he shouldn't have been losing from his height. But you've got to think the competitive element will get that out of him in this game.
Well, you say he shouldn't be losing headers. I mean, Liam Dickinson's no slouch in the height department, but Steve Cabba's only 3 foot tall, and he can. Steve Cabba? That's a different player. Sar Cabba. Sorry, I beg his pardon. He's still very small, and he still jumps very, very high. So it's all about attitude, is my point.
Yeah. He's sprightly.
He's very sprightly. Sprightly is definitely the word. The Guiseley players appear to have been sent back out. I don't know if they've been sent back out a little bit early with a bit of a flea in their ear. What do you think, Nick?
Well, I think Mark Bauer will have got into them a little bit, yeah. I think they probably do need to pick it up. We started well, but there's no excuses in this division, and if you aren't up to your game, then you're going to get punished.
Yeah, I think one of the concerns that Mark will have had is after that goal, I mean, it was only 5 or 6 minutes after the goal was scored, was Guiseley's players' heads, just a couple of them just started to drop a little bit, and we just got a little more careless with the ball than we had been, and I think that's something, hopefully, Mark's got into them about that, just get on the ball, play at your pace. Try and dominate this game. Try not to let them intimidate you. That seems to be their tactic of trying to intimidate us out of this game. And I think it's important we just don't let them.
Well, I think Dickinson will come on later. I think that's the plan B for our team. I think plan A is the passing, flowing football. And I think if we can't impose that on Welling, the first 15, 20 minutes of the second half, then we'll see Liam Dickinson come on and a more direct game plan adopted.
I mean, also you've got a good ball player like Gavin Rothery. Maybe he won't be able to swing past these players because they are quite pacey, but he certainly can put a ball in the box when necessary. And there's another outlet for Guiseley there. At the minute, they're just letting Welling come onto them just a bit too much. They need to get out, need to play a bit more forward, I would say. Look, both teams are back out onto the pitch now, so we'll hand you back to your commentators for the second half. We're going to start with Chris Bell, and for the main match, Colin Robertson.
Thank you very much, Dave. Welcome back to Parkview Lane. As we say, 1-0 down at the break, but the options are there perhaps because we've got the people to be a bit more physical in this game. Like Liam Dickinson on the bench, the ball players, the deliverers like Gavin Rothery. Your take on the first half, Colin, very quickly before we get back underway?
Well, I think what we've been talking about throughout the half-time there was we're talking about a very finely balanced game, aren't we? And I think before Welling scored, we could have had chances to take the lead ourselves, and that might have swung the balance in a different way. I think Atkinson, he had a great chance in the penalty area. He just didn't connect with the ball. Tom Craddock, on occasions, there's 2 or 3 moments he has really shone, hit the crossbar, and almost played Zach Thompson in brilliantly. Zach Thompson has had a couple of moments where you think he's about to hit one, and he's just been unable to keep the ball moving under his feet. And realistically, we're a goal behind, but it's been a very finely balanced game. The question for me really was just how we responded to that goal when we went a goal behind. We did look very flat, and we didn't have that immediate muster of a response that I was looking for.
Yeah, quite rightly. You'd hope that Mark will have had words. He'll have told them to frankly pick their heads up. You know, we played 45 minutes of the season, and as Dave alluded to, at half-time, 1 or 2 heads did seem to drop. They've got to be picked up for the second half. We've got the players out there that are capable of getting us back into this game. It's all about now them, going out there and showing that they can do it, because coming from behind is something that Guiseley have been very, very good at in the past.
Well, we were good at it, weren't we, in the playoff final? Let's just hope we can muster a similar sort of second half. It's been a difficult first one to gauge, isn't it? Because, again, you don't know the quality of the players. There's 5 new players in this Welling United side. There's a young manager who's a player manager, Louis Fazakili, who has achieved great things at this club in a short spell of time. So is this a team that is on the up? Is this a team in Welling that might just be gelling something and we're actually coming up against a tough team? You don't know. I mean, you can only go by what you've seen from the previous season. We've come up from a division below. We didn't set that division necessarily on light. So it's very hard, and obviously we've taken on a lot of new recruits and strengthened over the summer. So it's difficult to gauge. It's a hot afternoon. Early stages, I thought we looked very positive. In spells, I thought there were things that we were doing that kind of got you quite excited. Lovely little interplays and movement. We certainly haven't been playing the kind of football where we're building up patiently from the back that we saw a lot of last year, but we have been playing some good, incisive football on occasion. But a little bit too often it's been breaking down, partially because Welling have been very strong defensively, I think, in midfield, and partially because we've maybe just not been at the races. I think Jake Lawler's had a tough first 45. It doesn't seem to have run for him the way that we've seen him command the midfield in previous times. His confidence on the ball, as well as his ability to intercept and break play up. And that's where we perhaps will need to see some improvement in the second half. But we're just about underway, aren't we? The referee has now come out, Mr. Dean Treleaven. And,
hence the cheers.
Hence the cheers, yes, you could have heard in the background. I'm sure that was perfectly well-meaning and sincere. And Guiseley will now kick off shooting from right to left in their all-yellow away strip, their brand-new all-yellow away strip against a Welling United side who lead at the break by 1-0. And Guiseley have plenty of work to do if they're to get themselves back into this game and get a point, or you never know, more, if they can perform the turnaround that we saw against Chorley in the playoff final. Well, if they can do it once, perhaps they can do it again, Chris.
Absolutely. Hey, so as I say, we know that Guiseley are good at coming back. They've been behind many a time in league games, in the important game like the playoff final, and they can turn this around. It's all about belief. The players need to believe in themselves. With the new additions, the quality is there.
Guys, you have a free kick just inside their own half, out on the left-hand side here. Danny Lowe takes it. It goes long again. It's up towards Jake Lawler this time. He can't win that header. He's slightly unable to view the ball, I think, against the sun. Picked up by Adam Boys. Back here. Played in by Hatfield, up towards the back post. Craddock was looking for it. Went over him and behind for a goal kick. Craddock has his head in his hands. He thinks he should have done better with that.
Yeah, that was a superb delivery from Will Hatfield. And as we say, it came across and over the top of the head of Craddock, who was behind the defender, so maybe didn't quite see it as clearly as he would have liked to. That may have thrown him off slightly, but as I say, cracking ball in from Will Hatfield, and that's something that we need to do a bit more, I think, is get these balls into the box.
Balls forward as Welling look to press that back line of Atkinson and Lockwood. Lockwood wins the header and the ball goes all the way back to Tom King.
This is frustrating. There's nobody closing down. We saw in the first half from Welling that Cabot and Tashan Adeyinka, they will close down the defenders, they will close down the keeper when it's just at his feet.
Free kick's being given to Guiseley as a clearance from King. Goes all the way down to Stephen Drench's goal, but there was an offside flag up on this near side. 47 minutes gone. Welling 1, Guiseley 0. If you're just joining us, it was a goal from Sar Cabot in the first half that's the difference between the two teams. The Lions now trying to muster a response, but as they press the ball forward, Welling will look to counter-attack. And as they do on this occasion, they just run the ball out of play, and Guiseley will have a throw, level with the centre circle inside their own half. And a poor touch from Wayne Brooksby between him and Danny Lowe. A couple of occasions we've seen that, almost a little bit rusty, the two there on that moment. And just not quite anticipating each other's moves. Jake Lawler now just plays the ball left here to Lockwood into the feet of Danny Lowe. Lowe looks ahead of him. He plays a good ball forward up towards Craddock, headed away this time though. Good clearance there from Chambers, picked up now by Lockwood. Lockwood into the feet of Craddock. Craddock with a bit of space to run into, towards the edge of the D. Play comes to close him down. Craddock takes the shot, he scuffs it, and then it's back with the goalkeeper. Wayne Brooksby didn't give it up, and Liam King was forced in rather a hurry to pick the ball up.
Yeah, it was good chasing play from Brooksby, looking to get any form of follow-up. What's positive from Craddock is that he had a shot, because we haven't really done that much. It's the cliche, if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle. You don't take shots, you're not going to score. And at one down, we need to be testing Tom King in the Welling goal.
And here comes Rhys Harris now for Welling on the left-hand side. He cuts in field well, picks up some good space, goes towards the edge of the D, lays it in to Adeyinka. He opened up his body and then his shot was poor, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly good finishing there from Adeyinka. He's had 2 chances where the ball's been played across to him, and on neither of them has he hit it with any pace or power or conviction.
Ball is cleared. And it's picked up by Nicky Boschel. He puts the ball over the top of his head and in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It's forced Kevin Locko to clear. And Guiseley have a throw level with the edge of the 18-yard box that Danny Lowe will take. Lowe in towards the feet of Craddock. Welling clear again. Guiseley have another throw. And again, it's as you were. Nicky Boschel. This time back to Lowe. Lowe can cross. He gets a ball drilled into the penalty area. It's blocked. And then it's going to be helped away by Fazakali. Up to the halfway line. Headed on by Lockwood. Lockwood up towards Zach Thompson. But Welling and the throw inside their own half. Guiseley not really firing on all cylinders just yet, you feel.
Yeah, the second balls aren't being won by Guiseley at all, are they? As yet. It's Guiseley that are on the back foot with both the first and the seconds.
Long ball forward here from Thompson. He's looking to try and get Craddock, but it's gone over Craddock. Craddock has run into the back of... and for some reason decided to grab Michael Chambers.
Just a friendly hug.
I think Chambers stopped in front of him and he'll say, I just couldn't stop myself. And it's a bit more disjointed, isn't it? It's a little bit more scrappy, the second half, the early stages of it. 5 minutes into the second period. Still Welling 1, Guiseley 0. And the Lions have had the play more in the Welling half in this opening spell, but not to any great effect as yet.
It's not been great, has it? We saw in the early stages of the first half some really good flowing football from both sides. As we say, this half so far, been scrapper.
Atkinson forced to clear under pressure from Adeyinka. There's an offside flag against him. The referee will bring play back because the ball had fallen to Welling.
Yeah, it's good refereeing there. We've seen referees before that would have just allowed play to continue, but as it is, We saw that Guiseley's advantage had gone, has pulled it back and given Guiseley another chance to get this ball forward with Steve Drench's free kick.
Drench will take this just outside of his penalty area, sends it long. It's a good delivery up towards Nicky Boschel, and it's headed out by Fazakali. And Guiseley have a throw, and that was good direct play from the Lions. Positionally, they've won the yards that they need to get Atkinson forward. And Atkinson's coming up to take this throw, and I just wonder whether he's going to launch this one long. He steps back. Guiseley have got players now on the edge of the 6-yard box. Look like they're going to change this into a long throw. It is, in towards the area, headed away. And it's well cleared, actually, by Loco.
Too easy.
And now it's a chance here for Kaba. And Kaba had got himself a couple of yards offside. But actually, he'd taken up a good position. And if he timed his run better, guys, he would have been caught out.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, with the right position, he's just a yard or two ahead of where he should have been.
Now sloppy play from the Lions, and Adeyinka has a chance to win the ball, but he's just caught. He's just caught Will Hatfield, and there's a yellow card now for Tashan Adeyinka because of that challenge. It looked like they both went in for the ball, fairly full-blooded tackle, but Hatfield came off second best, and Adeyinka has gone into the book.
I think that's, well, it's a bit harsh for me. As you say, both of them were going in there. It was 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other.
Difficult to sell from this angle because Adeyinka was running away from us as he went into the tackle. But this is the third change, the third booking for Welling in this game. Stephen Drench now with the free kick. He'll send this long. A yard or two inside from the centre circle. Sends it up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, up towards Lockwood. Referee finds a free kick. And the free kick is given for something that Lockwood is alleged to have done, but we're not quite clear on that from where we are. Swindon 1, Bradford 1, an equaliser for Swindon. Bradford led in the first half. Curzon-Ashton 2, Corby 1 in the Vanarama National North. And it's Southport 0, Eastleigh 2. Second goal for Eastleigh. They've certainly got ambitions to kick on from last season. Headed away by Adam Lockwood from Guiseley's perspective as the Lions have to defend again, and Tom Craddock is bundled over, plays the ball short inside his own half from the free kick and plays it immediately to Atkinson. A raking ball forward towards Adam Boys, but this is going to be comfortable for Jefford to deal with. Jefford blasts it against Boys and wins Welling a throw-in inside left-back position for them.
I don't think the long ball, the long diagonal pass, is really Rob Atkinson's forte, is it?
Well, Martin Stringfellow's just coming on here, and he's going to have to see Will Hatfield, who seems to have got some sort of problem in his midriff from the collision he had with Adeyinka. Meanwhile, players are taking on water. It is very warm today. And we've had temperatures reaching, I'd say, about 25. And if anything now, I think the day has got hotter than it was in the first half. The temperatures, I think, have risen.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
And we've got players warming up on the
Ryan
Guiseley bench.
Toulson.
Ryan Toulson is warming up, and he might actually be coming on here because Will Hatfield doesn't look comfortable. He's sort of stamping his left leg down, but I think he's going to just see how he is. But quite possibly we might see Ryan Toulson make a change.
Yeah, Mark's just having away with the fourth official. There we go. That's something else to know, by the way. New league novelty. We get proper fourth officials in this league.
One day we'll have the ones behind the goal, maybe. You never know.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? We can dream. We can dream.
Meanwhile, Welling get play back underway and hoof it forward into the Guiseley half. Headed away by Atkinson. Back into the Welling half where it's been, but without much conviction from Guiseley. Perhaps Nicky Boschel might change that now. Picks the ball up. Plays it square to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby threads it in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. A little touch from Adam Boys, a bit heavy. And Guiseley concede possession. Picked up again, though, now. Will Hatfield chips it forward up towards Brooksby. And then it's away. Headed on here by Atkinson, but it's only out for a Welling throw on the halfway line.
Yeah, well, I say we were expecting Toulson because Mark Bauer was certainly in conversation with the fourth official, but Hatfield looks like he's going to plough on. He doesn't look especially comfortable right now, but Toulson was stripped and ready.
Toulson, as we know, is an excellent right back and probably unlucky not to feature today. He might want to play, but I'm sure not in these circumstances. Meanwhile, Danny Lowe plays the ball forward. It's taken down here by Craddock. Craddock can't control. Nicky Boschel picks up loose ball. Good ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, headed away by Locko. Cleared and picked up on the halfway line by Hatfield, who's running freely now. Wayne Brooksby can't hold on to the ball. He's brushed off it. It's played over the top now. Cabba, who got the goal on the edge of the 18-yard box, gets past Lockwood, gets the cross in, blasts it against Lockwood, gets the second ball in over the top, and there's a big shout from the home fans for a penalty, but in the end it's actually a free kick to Guiseley because Ben Jefford was holding on to I'm not quite sure who was in the area. I think it was Zach Thompson. Anyway, Guiseley have a free kick on the edge of the 6-yard box, much to the disgust of the home fans.
It was just a friendly hug, really, wasn't it? Because there was Zach Thompson and Ben Jefford just being a bit physical on the edge of the box. It's one of those where both sides were looking for something to be awarded in their favour, and as it was in Guiseley's.
Throw in for the Lions. Picked up here by Danny Lowe into the feet of Craddock. Craddock sends it down towards Lowe, and there's an interception from Wellard that's knocked behind, and Guiseley get their first corner of this second half, and this is a chance for Lions to get the big men forward.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Adam Lockwood in the centre of the penalty area. Atkinson's gone towards the back post.
Brooksby goes up towards the back post. It's over, everyone bounces in the area awkwardly. In the end, it's rather tamely into the hands of Tom King. Just didn't work as we were hoping for.
Yeah, did well there, did Tom King, the Millwall loanee. You could see that it was just bouncing, came out, claimed it, collected it well, and just got rid of any danger for his side.
A couple of goals to tell you about in the Vanarama National. Kidderminster 1, Grimsby 1, and Tranmere 1, Woking 0. Tamworth are leading for North Ferriby in the Vanarama National North. And meanwhile, Guiseley are trying to get the ball forward into Welling territory, but they're not making the headway. The ball is cleared again, and all the way back to Stephen Drench. Still, Guiseley 0 are trailing by 1-0 here to the Wings, who still take a lot of breaking down, don't they, in this game, and they're coming away again with the ball. Vidal trying to send it towards Cabba, the goal scorer, broken down here. Now Wayne Brooksby in the centre circle, has to do something a bit more creative with this. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Will Hatfield has overhit the cross, and it's tamely behind and trapped very well in the terraces beyond by the Welling supporters. And Guiseley will make the change, and that might be Will Hatfield's last touch if he is indeed the man to be replaced, because Ryan Toulson is coming on.
It's Zach Thompson.
Yep, you're right, Zach Thompson.
So that would suggest to me Will Hatfield coming to the centre of the park where his prime position, his best position, his most creative position, and Ryan Toulson over to right back. So clearly Will Hatfield's shaken off whatever knocker or whatever it was that he had.
So Will Hatfield now will join Jake Lawler in front of the two. They're still with this sort of 4-4-2 even. I'm just making up formations here. 4-4-2, but where you've got two holding midfielders and two wide men.
Yeah, that could be a sign of intent, I think, from Mark Bauer to use Will Hatfield as a more creative central midfielder.
Throw in as Welling press. Guiseley having to defend in their own half. Throw is taken by Danny Lowe in left-back position up to the halfway line. And there's a claim of a push on for Zackley, but nothing given. Guiseley, meanwhile, just not able to get the ball down. Tom Craddock has rather earned a free kick just in front of us here in the challenge with Wellard.
I think earned is the right choice of phrase. Looks like we're going to see a substitute for Welling soon. George Porter, the number 7.
And indeed, you're right, the game will be stopped 61 minutes gone. Welling making their first change of the game. George Porter to come on.
Sarkaba.
He will replace the goal scorer, Sarkaba.
Yeah, surprising for me slightly because I think Cabra has done well, but he has run his socks off and maybe a time for a change, and it's the ex-Burnley and Rochdale player that's come on, and George Porter.
Ball goes forward by Guiseley, finds Nicky Boschel on the left-hand side. He cuts in field, crosses towards the back post. It's above everyone. It almost finds its way through. There's a claim of a handball or a push or something. The Guiseley fans behind that goal are incensed, and the referee has given a free kick against Tom Craddock
And
a yellow card. And I think is he saying he handled the ball? Or
Yeah.
I must admit I didn't see, but
that seems to be what the outcome of that is. And, you know, as we said, the Guiseley fans behind were desperate for a penalty that they felt they'd seen a push or something. But, of course, the linesman on that far side had the best view of the lot. And they're mic'd up. They can communicate very easily. And as it is, the yellow card has been given to Tom Craddock.
62 minutes gone, still Welling 1, Guiseley 0. Not as much threat in the second half as from the first from Welling, but neither from Guiseley either. The ball spent a lot more time in the Welling half than it has in the Lions, but we really haven't tested Tom King yet in the second period. Stephen Drench now has the ball on the edge of the D. He plays it forward up towards Nicky Boschel. It's helped away well, and now there's a chance here. Adeyinka's got through the back line, gives a firm drive of the ball towards the goal from the edge of the penalty area, but it was well held by Stephen Drench. And in the end, actually, Adeyinka didn't really strike it with enough conviction or keep it far enough away from Stephen Drench to be of a real threat.
Yeah, I think it was the most power he's put into his shot, though, in this game from Adeyinka. But as we say, Steve Drench comfortably behind that one. Looks like George Porter, the substitute for Wellings that's come on, is going to just go alongside. It's a like-for-like change formation-wise and positionally.
Good touch here from Hatfield, now as a defensive midfielder, to win the ball on the halfway line. Plays it here to Lowe. Now Jake Lawler. He plays it square to Atkinson. Atkinson plays the long ball out to the left-hand side. Nicky Boschel nods it on, but he's offside. And the flag is up. And Guiseley see a promising move caught out by an offside flag.
That time Atkinson got his part of that perfect. You know, I was critical of Rob Atkinson's distribution earlier on because he is very much the head it, clear it kind of centre half, and a couple of his long passes have gone astray earlier on, but that one was spot on. It was just Nicky Boschel who hadn't timed his run quite right.
Long one forward as Welling take the free kick, and it's direct football from both sides. Now there's a chance here for Harris to get the ball into the area. He does. Cleared by Lockwood. Guiseley just under a little bit of pressure here for a moment or two. Headed away by Toulson. And then there's a claim of a foul against Wayne Brooksby, but nothing's given. I think it's Harris who's down at the moment. Guiseley managed to clear and get the ball up to the halfway line. Adam Boyes claims he was pushed, but again, without much conviction. And then Atkinson collides with the substitute George Porter. Porter goes to ground and claims a free kick, and
I think there may have been an arm around or something like that from Atkinson.
Scrappy sort of passage of play where it's all been about little free kicks, claims for fouls.
Niggling ones, aren't there?
Niggling little passage of play, not particularly pleasant to watch. Free kick to Welling on the halfway line.
Liam Dickinson is out warming up at the moment, as is Gavin Rothery. I think from Guiseley's perspective, as we alluded to, a bit more direct from both sides. This is crying out for someone like Liam Dickinson, somebody physical.
Free kick will be taken now by Welling on the halfway line, up towards Wellard. Wellard flicks on, it'll go out for a goal kick. And a chance to give you a few scores. If you are keeping track of things. Well, Swindon Town are beating Bradford City now 2-1. The Bantams had taken the lead in that game. Boreham Wood 2, Halifax 1. Grimsby are leading now Kidderminster Harriers 2-1. Kidderminster had got back to level terms in that one. Bradford Park Avenue 2, Alfreton 1, so a goal back for Alfreton. And Lowestoft 2 quick goals against Steve Kittrick's Telford United. 2-0 to Lowestoft in that game in the Vanarama National North. I'm afraid it's 1-0 to Welling here. Welling United's goal coming from Sarkaba. And just as we speak, Swindon Town get a third against Bradford City. Sarkaba has since made way for George Porter. And actually, Welling are beginning to look a bit more of a threat since then. Guys, now have to defend. It's not been the most inspiring of second periods from the Lions. But a header back here by Fazakli gives Adam Boyes a bit of a chase with the goalkeeper coming out of his line. Now picked up here by Wayne Brooksby in the centre circle as the keeper's clearance goes all the way into the halfway line, and then Atkinson is penalised for a push on Porter on the centre circle. And that's...
it's been coming for me that a free kick has been given against Rob Atkinson, because one or two occasions he's been a little bit over physical for the home fans' likings at least.
It's not much in it, is it? 6 and 2 threes with most challenges, but again, it's always about the claim. Now Adeyinka tries to get on the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box from the free kick. Jake Lawler steps across and clears. And Guiseley on a throw-in inside their own half.
You know what I think's been missing from this game?
What's that?
Danny Boschel. His, ability to keep possession in the centre of the park. I think that's been missing.
Keeping things ticking over when we have been lacking the composure in midfield. Low into Hatfield. The square to Atkinson out towards the right-hand side. Flicked on by Brooksby. Good bit of skill from Wayne Brooksby. Down the right flank. Has 2 to aim for in the box if he can make the cross. Goes up towards the back post. Over Craddock into Boschel. Boschel couldn't get it down. And in the end, it is cleared. And Welling do well to defend that. And Xavier Vidal gets the ball up to the halfway line. And there's an offside decision against Adeyinka. And Guiseley, well, that was the best chance of that second half. And just if Nicky Boschel could have attacked that ball more purposefully, Guiseley might have had a chance on goal.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult for Nicky Boschel there to get any form of control on it, because it was coming at him at both an awkward pace and an awkward height.
And Jake Lawler's ball now with Guiseley in possession just goes straight into Corn. But Lawler wins the ball back, having a better second half. Gives it to Toulson. Toulson exchanges passes nicely with Wayne Brooksby. Into Boyes. Boyes and Brooksby keep the combination going. Brooksby into the penalty area onto the left-hand side. Cuts it back in towards the face of goal. Cut out and cleared. And Guiseley have a throw-in now. Level with the 6-yard box. And a chance to press once again. And I think we'll see Ryan Toulson take this throw. And
yeah,
I
we know what
he's going to launch it, isn't he?
He will do. He will do. Liam Dickinson, he's getting his shirt on as well.
Yeah, just a few changes to go on the bench, really. Liam Dickinson getting prepared to come on. Meanwhile, guys, they have this throw, which Ryan Toulson will launch into the penalty area. Goes up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Still not able to capitalise the Lions, and Welling easily clear. Now they have a chance of a counter-attack. Rhys Harris on the left-hand side, coming forward for the wings on the left flank. He's got options ahead of him in Adeyinka, and Porter goes down that left flank, and in the end, it's cut out well by Adam Lockwood. He knew where that ball was going, showed all his years of intelligence and footballing knowledge to just step across there at the right time and take the ball away. But guys, he can't keep hold of it. Wellard now on the right-hand side as Welling come forward again. Wellard cuts in field. And then the ball hits the arm of Hatfield in a similar way to the first half when the ball hit the arm in the penalty area from the Welling man. Guys, he don't concede the free kick, just as they didn't earn the penalty. So I suppose you can give the referee points for consistency on that occasion. Meanwhile, the ball goes forward and it's blocked and out for a Welling throw in left-back position.
I think Gavin Rothery is also down there. He may come on soon, but here is the change. Liam Dickinson is the man that's coming on, and he's replacing Nicky Boschel. And I've got to say, I'm not overly surprised by that, Colin. You know, Boschel, he struggled to get into this second half. Liam Dickinson is the physical aspect that we need, and what it also means, we've got 3 strikers remaining on the pitch.
So Liam Dickinson comes on. It might mean a bit of a tactical switch around here. Craddock, Boyes, and Dickinson just talking to each other. 505 here today. I'm sure we're not a particularly exciting draw for the Welling faithful. I think we've brought a decent number ourselves. Tough season ahead for both sides, probably. Guiseley at the moment aren't winning this opening tie. They're trailing by a goal to nil. Jake Lawler and Wayne Brooksby combine inside the Welling half, just inside. Brooksby sends it long, beyond everyone, towards Liam Dickinson, who seems to be at the pinnacle of a 3 there now, with Boys on the left, Craddock on the right, and Liam Dickinson in the middle.
He's got one job, hasn't he? Be there, be physical, win the headers. That's what he's been brought on to do.
Guys, they win the throw as the ball goes long, and it's a throw in right back position. Swindon 4, Bradford City 1. Aldershot 1, Gateshead 1. An equaliser for Gateshead. And Southport 0, Eastleigh 3. Ominous performance there from Eastleigh. Meanwhile, the Lions need to do something more. We're still trailing by a goal to nil. 18 minutes to go. Throw from the halfway line, down the right-hand side. Jake Lawler chases, picked up by Liam Dickinson. And once again, it breaks down in that final third. And once again, Welling get it away, but good work here from Hatfield. Scurrying around in that midfield, winning the ball back off Wellard. Plays the ball forward. Craddock unable to get past Fazakali, who stands in front of the Guiseley frontman, who protests to the referee with no avail. The ball back with the goalkeeper. Headed away by Lockwood as the clearance goes all the way to the edge of the 18-yard box. And then now it's with Ben Jefford, the left back, who looks forward. His forward ball is cut out by Toulson. Toulson can't clear the ball past Rhys Harris, who blocks, and it's a Guiseley throw.
What have we got? 17 to go.
Yeah. Lincoln 1, Cheltenham 1, and Curzon Ashton 2, Corby 2. So Corby equalising after taking the lead earlier in that game. Those two sides both promoted up to the Vanarama National North from last season. This time last week we were playing Curzon Ashton ourselves in that pre-season friendly, looking very accomplished.
Best result pre-season, that one, the 4-0 win.
Count for nothing does pre-season though, doesn't it? And it's showing today that the real stuff is far more important, and 3 points is an important prize for both these sides. And at the moment they're heading the way of Welling. Guiseley with the ball in the chest. Adam Boys, square here to Jake Lawler, who plays it straight at Corn. Lawler has to stick at his task and win the ball back, but it was a poor touch from Jake Lawler. And Guiseley now have conceded possession, and Welling have the ball in the halfway line.
Yeah, he hasn't looked as comfortable as we have seen him play in that central midfield role, Jake Lawler. I think the step up has possibly come a little bit of a surprise to a few of the lads, to be fair.
Clearance from Craddock into the Welling half, and it's taken down well by Loco, who plays the ball across field, and a good surging run now here includes Ben Jefford. The fullback takes a shot from distance, fires it over the crossbar of Stephen Drench's goal and behind for a goal kick. But again, Lions just finding that the play breaking down in that final third, and then the counter-attack, the riposte from Welling, as yet not strong enough to threaten the Lions goal too severely, but it's a difficult 15 minutes, I think, ahead for Mark Bauer's men. We're not making the forays or the headway into the Welling defence that we would like if we were chasing that goal, as we're chasing that goal that we conceded in the first half. Liam Dickinson now battling hard to try and win the ball. Does earn Guiseley a throw-in on the edge of the 18-yard box for Zachary, the man who touched the ball. Liam Dickinson gets into the penalty area. Perhaps he can produce some of that muscle and magic that he did in the playoff final against Chorley. Here with Hatfield, crosses in, flicked on by Boys, picked up by Brooksby, back post, back here to Boys. Boys takes a shot! Oh, just past the upright. He took a lovely touch on the edge of the 18-yard box, hit it with his left boot, but it was always just dragged past the right upright and behind for a Welling goal kick.
What a chance that is. And it's fallen to the right man, hasn't it? You'd want it to come to Adam Boyce in that position, but agonisingly wide of that right-hand post as we look at it.
And another change for the Lions, the final one. Gavin Rothery makes his debut in a Guiseley shirt in the Vanarama National anyway. A long-serving Lions man who was on the bench today. He's replaced Will Hatfield. And it's Afolabi Obafemi who's going to be Welling's second substitute. He will place Tashan Adeyinka. And that is the second substitute for Welling. 13 minutes to go. Guiseley still trailing by a goal to nil. And this very hot summer's day, the opening day of the 2015-16 season.
Yeah, we're getting towards those final stages now, aren't we? Inside the last 15 minutes. And Guiseley need to conjure up something. You'd think that Mark Bow would be happy to leave here with a point. They just need to try and get that goal that can at least get them that.
Ball with Stephen Drench in the Guiseley goal. There's a lead now for Gateshead at Aldershot. They lead 2-1. Guiseley just can't come down this left-hand side. In the end, concede a throw-in for Welling. Altrincham 0, Forest Green 1. Altrincham next up for Guiseley at home at Nethermore on Tuesday night. We'll be there as ever. And Hensford now leading Stalybridge by 2-1. Hull City leading Huddersfield 2-0. 1-0 to Welling. Guiseley just unable really to muster sufficient attacking intent in this game to warrant a goal in the second period. Welling resilient. Throw goes down the right channel, nodded out by Danny Lowe.
Yeah, he's not been able to get us forward as much as he would have liked to, I don't think, because we've seen him in pre-season, Danny Lowe, and he's been excellent. He's attacked well when he's had the chance.
And guys, they've just conceded a corner. They're throwing down that right side. Adam Boyce leapt to win the header ahead of the man ahead of him, and in fact he flicked it over him and it's gone out for a kind corner for Welling. And this is a great respite for them, chance for them, to play in the shade as there is at this end of the pitch, but also to bring 4 or 5 big men forward and threaten the Guiseley goal. The ball on the right-hand side.
George Porter stood on Steve Drench as well, making it difficult for him.
79 minutes gone. Welling 1, Guiseley 0. Corner to Welling from the right-hand side. Curled in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. They all leap. The header goes goal bound. Michael Chambers it was who made the connection, but Stephen Drench was right in front of it and held the ball well. And it goes all the way back from Drench's clearance to Tom King. He lofts the ball forward as well. 2 keepers with decent clearances on the ball. Gavin Rothery just holds onto the ball a little bit too long in his own half and almost dispossessed. Guys, he's still in possession of the ball. And then it's cleared by Toulson. And then there's a free kick. Wayne Brooksby is pulled down by Ben Jefford. And now it's a chance here for Guiseley to get the ball into the penalty area. It's about 10 yards from the edge of the angle of the penalty area on the right-hand side.
Yeah, very good chance. The likes of Liam Dickinson in the box, and once again, Rob Atkinson, Adam Lockwood going forward, looking to get the head on the end of this.
Free kick now for Guiseley. Wayne Brooksby will take. 10 minutes to go. 1-0 to Welling. Brooksby stands over this free kick. 2-man wall ahead of him. 10 yards out from the angle of the penalty area on the right-hand side. He's 4 or 5 to aim for. Floats this one in. Jake Lawler leaps. It looks like it's taken a touch off a Welling player. Referee does give a throw-in on this near side, the left-hand side. It looked like it might have gone out for a corner at first glance from this angle, but that's not to say it was dubious. It's just that this angle is very difficult to tell.
He throws well, didn't he, Jake Lawler there?
Guiseley now with a throw. Again, a chance to launch one into the area. direct football from the Lions. We're not used to seeing that too often. The ball's up, headed down by Boys, cleared again. And Guiseley just can't get their lines cleared. Obafemi now on the ball, the substitute, plays the ball forward towards the right-hand side, where a great run from Xavier Vidal would have been rewarded had the ball come through to him, because there was no oceans of space. But the man who joined them from Dulwich Hamlet, very highly rated player, he just hadn't able to get on the end of the ball in the end. Guiseley now can come up the other end here. Good ball here for Boys. He finds Dickinson in the area. Dickinson blasts it. Oh, he's missed a golden chance for the Lions. A golden opportunity there for Liam Dickinson. He was played in by Adam Boys, and he had time and space to hit the target. In the end, he shanked the shot wide, and really he should have tested the goalkeeper at the very least.
What a chance. What a chance. Oh, Liam Dickinson. That's so unfortunate. He had all the time in the world. He looked as though he'd set himself perfectly, and he just puts it across, and you think you're just waiting for that net to bulge, and it just goes agonisingly wide of the post. That's been the story of the second half, I think, for Guiseley. Agonisingly wide of the post with two great chances.
It's a real test in finishing. You have to take your chances. Clearly, Welling have learnt that lesson. They're on the right-hand side now. The substitute, Obafemi, dispossessed. Danny Lowe gets it cleared. Vidal. Good touch from Vidal, who gets the ball towards the left-hand flank, where Jefford had made a good run, but a good interception comes. And now it's a chance here for Brooksby to take the ball forward. He keeps running down this right-hand side. Two up against him now. Brooksby threads the ball through towards Liam Dickinson. Good power from Dickinson. Goes towards the touchline. He overruns the ball, and it's out for a goal kick.
The right idea, though. That's what Dickinson's good at. We just saw him then completely outmuscle the defender. Took it round him, a little bit too heavy. Almost able to get on the end of it, though. And it's the right idea from Dickinson. It's what he's there to do, is be physical. He's just really unfortunate with the chance that he's just had. But, you know, it's good play from Liam Dickinson. It's encouraging.
Still 1-0 to Welling, though, I'm afraid. 7 minutes to go. Guys, he've had the best chance the second half. It fell to Liam Dickinson. He pulled the shot wide. Still, the Lions press once more. The ball down that left-hand side. Adam Boyce chasing. Unable to get on the end of it. Plays the ball straight back to the goalkeeper. Says, come on, get on with it. Solihull Moors 3, Fylde 0 in the Vanarama National. Gainsborough 1, Worcester City 1. Worcester had taken the lead in that one, Gainsborough equalising. Altrincham, I think we've read this one, Altrincham 0, Forest Green 1.
Inside the final 6 now, Colin. It's now or never time almost, isn't it, for Guiseley? In fact, we may have been there for a few minutes already, but...
Yeah. You just actually beginning to wonder whether this game's gone. Just don't seem to have the killer instinct in front of goal today that's needed. Now Wayne Brooksby keeps running down that left-hand side, full of verve and energy now.
Great
but a
challenge.
super challenge in on him. Superb tackle. And the
it's what you want from your manager.
Ball from Fazakali is absolutely excellent as towards Rhys Harris, but well intercepted now by Ryan Toulson. Toulson on the right-hand side, plays it towards Liam Dickinson. He's man-marked here by Kevin Locko. Dickinson's muscled off the ball, and then it's a good interception from Toulson.
No support there, was there, for Dickinson? Nobody was moving. Nobody was getting into space.
So for 5 minutes to go. Welling in no hurry to take a throw in inside their own half. Not surprisingly. Very hot afternoon here. And Guiseley are labouring at the moment, trying to get back into this game, trailing by a goal to 0. Jake Lawler sends it long. But it's too long and easy for Tom King to collect.
He's just taken all the time in the world, hasn't he, to collect that. He waited for Liam Dickinson to be a couple of yards away from him as he was closing him down. But it is that stage of the game now, isn't it, for Welling?
Well, now the header inside the 18-yard box for Guiseley has got to be carefully attended to by the Lions' defence, because the long clearance from King did cause a little problem for a moment or two. But it's back with Stephen Drench. He sends it long. Upfield, looking for Wayne Brooksby now. Muscled off by Jefford. And then here comes Rhys Harris again for Welling. He's stopped in his tracks by Ryan Tilson, who's looked very competent since he'd come on again. And now a throw-in for Welling, just inside the Guiseley half on the left-hand side as they attack the Lions' goal. Goes long, beyond everyone. Atkinson steps across. He rather hurriedly clears it into touch. And it'll be another Welling throw on the edge of the 18-yard box. The Lions trailing by 1-0 with 4 minutes to go.
Well, right now, Welling will be perfectly happy to keep the ball down at Steve Drench's end of the ground. They just need to get this game over and done with from their point of view. Just see the game out, 3 minutes to go, plus any added time.
The ball here with Tilson inside the right-back position, just up from the corner flag. The end, when Brooksby can't clear. The corner has been won off him. Now, guys, they have to defend again. Welling, throw in field. Harris gets the ball under control, under pressure from two yellow shirts. And then Tilson, who tries to get around the substitute, Obafemi, and actually brings him down and earns a yellow card for his trouble. Ryan Tilson.
Yeah, it wasn't a particularly sensible challenge from Ryan Tilson there at this stage of the game. The Welling man's always going to go down, to be fair. I think it was a strong enough challenge to warrant that. And he's almost gone semi through the back of him, picked up a booking for his troubles. Guiseley leaving 3 forward. There's 3 at the back 4 at the back now for Welling. There's only 2 on the edge of the box.
2 minutes to go. Lions trail 1-0. Welling have a free kick, 10 yards up from the edge of the angle of the penalty area on the left-hand side as they attack the Guiseley goal. 2 stand over it, including the captain, Ricky Wellard. And Guiseley have only got 2 players to defend, as Chris says, in that penalty area. It's a drilled effort from Xavier Vidal that bounces off the Lions' defence, but still Welling in possession. It's all in the wrong territory for Guiseley. And it's just a matter of playing this game out, really, I think, in the stoppage time. Guiseley need to get the ball up the other end. They win a throw inside their own half. And they need to do something pretty spectacular in these closing quarters to get back on level terms here. The ball goes forward, but it's comfortably dealt with by Chambers. And it comes back and into touch for a Guiseley goal kick. Stockport have beaten Boston United by 2-1. Kidderminster got late equaliser against Grimsby. The Vanarama National and Lowestoft have got a third against Telford United. So Lowestoft 3, Telford 0. Jake Lawler gets his foot on the ball, plays it into the feet of Tilson. Tilson's up and long towards Dickinson. Dickinson chests it down, gives it to Wayne Brooksby into the penalty area, skips past one, can't get past the second one. Can't get the shot away. That's been Guiseley's problem. Ian Dickinson uses a high foot to try and control the ball. I don't think he can complain about that, to be honest, and it's a free kick to Welling.
I'm going to try anyway. I think that was the only option for Dickinson there.
4 minutes of added time.
A few groans from the home supporters, a few cheers from the Guiseley fans because they know it's that little bit longer than we possibly may have anticipated.
We'll have to do something more than we have done in the second period from a attacking perspective to get the goal. We had that chance, that golden chance that Liam Dickinson had in the second half. We had the chance in the first half. Tom Craddock hit the crossbar. It could have been a different story, but it hasn't been. And in truth, Welling have ground out this result well. Stephen Drench plays a long one up towards Boys. It bounces off him towards Craddock. It bounces off Craddock and then behind for a goal kick. And Craddock has to chase that one to make sure that the goalkeeper will get the game back underway with just 3 minutes of stoppage remaining.
Well, I think those Guiseley fans to our left behind the goal that have enjoyed their day, not necessarily the match, or the result is the way things are, but that have enjoyed their day in the capital. You know, we're in the big leagues now. We're going to be having to get used to travelling down here a bit more often.
Now, Gavin Rothery threads the ball onto the halfway line to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby with a good piece of play, but the ball back to Danny Lowe is a difficult one for him. Lowe does well to get it. There's a firm challenge in from Vidal, and then it's cleared out for a Guiseley throw just inside the Welling half. Last chance saloon now for the Lions. They've got to do something spectacular. Lowe lofts one in towards the penalty area. Hoofed clear. Another Guiseley throw. Danny Lowe imploring the referee, the fourth official there, to get the ball onto the field, which he does. And now it's going to be Atkinson who'll take a long, long throw into the penalty area. Can this one work? He goes up towards Liam Dickinson. He flicks it on and away. And Welling can clear and counter-attack now. And this is dangerous for Guiseley because Porter, the substitute, is taking it down the right-hand side. Laid it back here to Vidal. Vidal plays it forward towards Porter. Little flick on from Porter towards Obafemi. Now Guiseley have the ball. An over-elaboration from Tom Craddock in midfield. Loses possession. Picked up again now as Welling press once again down this right-hand side. Out here towards Harris. Good interception from Ryan Tilson. Playing temporarily in left-back. Picked up there by Lowe. Tilson completes the clearance. But Guiseley, with a bank of 4 ahead of them, are asking too much of Adam Boyes. He gets the free kick and somehow, well, I think the referee has made a bit of a hash of that decision. It's a free kick to Welling.
Yeah, well, not for me. I think it's Adam Boyes that is unfortunate to have conceded the foul there on Louis Fazakerley, the Welling United manager, who is down.
Oh, no doubt he'll have a terrible time and will need long attention. Actually, to be fair, they're making the sign of a substitute. Whatever's happened, he's not in good shape there, I don't think. And the goalkeeper there, Tom King, just signing to the bench for a substitute. Couple of late goals. Bradford Park Avenue 2, Alfreton 2. So Avenue were 2-0 up, and there Vanarama National North. It's now 2-2. And it's also finished Southport 0, Eastleigh 4. Late goal for Eastleigh there. So Southport, ominous for them early doors. And unfortunately here we are seeing quite a nasty injury here for Zacherley, who's having to be helped off the field. He's furious that it's happened. Can't believe it. Shaking his head, holding his right ankle off the ground, and cursing the fact that he's been dragged off. It's a bit of a nasty knock there for Louis Fazakerley. But the job has certainly been done. He'll be replaced anyway by Kojo Owotwi, the last substitute for Welling.
Well, that's certainly going to add, you'd think, another minute and a half, 2 minutes onto the added time that we played so far.
And we get back underway. Goalkeeper Tom King plays it long. Out into touch. We've had 5 minutes of stoppages. We're only meant to have 4, but of course there's a long break whilst Louis Fazakerley had to be taken off the field. Guiseley restart with a throw in their full-back position. It's just really waiting on the referee's final whistle. The ball towards Liam Dickinson, well intercepted by Loco, and then plays it forward, and Stephen Drench has to come out of his goal to tidy up and sweep. But again, his ball doesn't find a yellow shirt. Up in the air towards Adam Boyes, headed away by Chambers. Jake Lawler keeps the ball ticking over. Last chance now perhaps for Guiseley to get one last long ball forward. Ryan Tilson does the duties, does the necessary, sends it long up towards Liam Dickinson. It falls down towards Adam Boyes. He can't get on the end of it. The ball just will not fall for Guiseley. And then Danny Lowe hoops it up into the air, up towards the back post. Finds Gavin Rothery at the back post. It's off the line. It's off the line. Liam Dickinson with an effort. He flying scissor kick, can't keep it down. And Guiseley with a great chance at the very end. Denied Gavin Rothery a shot after finding space at the back post, and the ball cleared off the line. And that's it, surely now. It didn't look like the opportunity was going to come, but Gavin Rothery's chance there, cleared off the line at the very end. Surely is the final nail in the coffin of this game.
I'm almost speechless. That's unbelievable. What a melee, what a scrap. Cleared off the line, not once almost, but twice. Right at the death. And you think that will be it.
Tom King clears the ball. Referee still plays on. Guiseley have got the ball in their back line. Surely it's got to be all over here. Ryan Tulson launches it one last time up towards Liam Dickinson. Headed away, up in the air. Referee still plays on. Guiseley have the ball here with Lockwood. Now to Liam. And there goes the whistle. And at the end, it's been a disappointing end for Guiseley's first game in the Vanarama National. And there's huge cheers around the stadium here as Welling know every point counts in this division. Last season's last-minute reprieve from relegation through an almighty recovery at the very end of the season that sent Alfreton down has taught them that. And Guiseley may have to learn the same lesson this season. It's finished here after a goal from Sarkaba in 39 minutes. Welling United 1, Guiseley 0.
Well, it's a disappointment, isn't it, for Mark Bauer's side? You know, it's not the start that any of us will have wanted, but, you know, it's one game down, 45 to go. There's no point in being doom and gloom at this stage. We've had one game. There's a long way to go. There was some positive signs at times. That was the problem, I think, for this game, is we didn't see enough consistency. And as a result, that's why it's finished. Welling United 1, Guiseley 0.
Overall, do you think we merited something out of that game? We had the chances, didn't we? What we didn't really do, or what we didn't show, was finishing. We didn't show the capability to take our chances.
Did we deserve a point? Yes. I mean, how many saves did Steve Drench actually have to make? Very, very few. You know, I'm not saying necessarily that Tom King did, but all the chances fell for Guiseley. You know, the two big ones in the second half, one of which, well, both of which really. Adam Boyes had a glorious chance, agonisingly wide. Liam Dickinson, all the time in the world, he brought it down, he set himself. He just waited for the ball to ripple the net. It didn't happen, it goes wide. We hit the crossbar in the first half. We had the chance when the ball came across to Rob Atkinson in the first half that, you know, as I said at the time, for me, anybody else will put that in the back of the net, but for your centre half. The chances were there, the chances were created. The problem we're going to have at this rate is the chances weren't taken, and that is, bottom line, is what's cost Guiseley at least a point in this game.
A very, very disappointing afternoon for the Lions in their opening game of the Vanarama National. A piece of history was made this afternoon, but it didn't bring the points or even a goal for the Lions. They were defeated by a 0 to Welling United. Let's just sign off then with the final scores from the games we've been following. Leeds United 1, Burnley 1 earlier on today. Hull 2, Huddersfield 0. Swindon 4, Bradford City 1. Aldershot 1, Gateshead 2 in the Vanarama National. Altrincham 0, Forest Green 1. Barrow 2, Dover 1. Borehamwood 3, Halifax 1. So a defeat for Halifax in London as well. Bromley 3, Wrexham 1, Chester 1, Braintree 0, Kidderminster 2, Grimsby 2, Lincoln City 1, Cheltenham 1, Southport 0, Eastleigh 4, Torquay 1, Macclesfield 0, Tranmere 1, Woking 0, Welling 1, Guiseley 0. Let's quickly go down those games in the Vanarama Conference North. Listen to this. Brackley 1, Harrogate Town 0. Bradford Park Avenue 2, Alfreton 2. It says here Alfreton have had 3 men sent off, so there'll be something to tell about that game. Chorley 2, Nuneaton 3. Another 3-2 home defeat for Chorley. Sorry, guys. Curzon Ashton 2, Corby 2. Gainsborough 1, Worcester City 1. Gloucester City 1, FC United 0. Hensford 2, Staleybridge 1. Lowestoft 3, Telford 0. Big defeat there for Steve Kittrick's Chargers at Telford United. Solihull 3, Fylde 0. Fylde reduced to 10 early on in that game. Stockport County 2, Boston United 1. Could this be the resurgence of Stockport County this season? And Tamworth 1, North Ferriby United 0. Disappointing end this afternoon. Final thoughts, Chris?
As I say, for me, it's a disappointing result, but the performance, for the most part, was there. One, lack of defensive organisation is what's cost us in that respect. That and the lack of being able to take chances. But it's early doors. You know, as I say, don't take the doom and gloom from this. It's one game down, 45 to go. There's a long way to go.
And we'll be back as soon as Tuesday night. And Tuesday night brings Altrincham to Nethermore. We'll be there again to cover the game as ever. We'll see you then if we don't see you at the ground. But thanks for listening this afternoon, and we'll see you on Tuesday.